An historic centuries-old building in Copenhagen collapsing its landmark spire.
Passers-by rushed to help. Emergency services saved priceless paintings and other valuables. The Danish culture minister says it's touching to see how many people lent their hand to save art treasures. One man jumping off his bicycle on his way to work to help in the effort. The fire began on Tuesday morning in the copper roof of the old stock exchange, or worsened, spreading to much of the building and the roof, parts of which also collapsed and destroyed the building's interior. The cause of the fires not immediately known. I'm Charles Dilladesma.
The flame that's to burn at the Paris Olympics has been kindled at the site of the ancient games in southern Greece. The flame will next be carried from the ruined temples and sports grounds of ancient Olympia by a relay of torchbearers. The 11-day journey through Greece culminates with the handover in Athens to Paris 2024 organizers. Townhall.com. California's AG is pushing to undo the will of the voters.
California's Democratic Attorney General has filed a lawsuit challenging a voter identification law passed at the polls this year in the city of Huntington Beach. Rob Bonta claimed that the measure is in conflict with state law and could suppress voter participation. The measure was passed by voters earlier this year to let the Orange County city, known for its surf culture, require identification from voters at the polls starting in 2026. Huntington Beach's City Council placed the voter ID measure on the ballot. Huntington Beach City Attorney Michael Gates says the city will defend local voters' decision. Keith Peters reporting.
A series of gun control bills introduced after Maine's deadliest shooting appears headed toward final approval. The Maine House has followed the state Senate in approving the governor's omnibus gun safety bill. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio. Yeah!
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Sunny out.
Sun's out, guns out, ready to play.
That's right. It'll be like,
the leaves are coming out.
yeah.
It's quite nice.
Again? Or going away again? I don't know. I think it's bloomed like 4 times.
Yeah. Yeah, trees aren't totally sure anymore.
Depending on what section of town you're in. So, but happy Tuesday. What's the matter?
Turn the cans down a little.
I can do that.
Very loud and very crackly.
I think we need to adjust
Yeah.
in there a little bit. I was noticing on the speakers, like, keep the tuners off just a smidge. So. But it's a pain in the butt to do it by yourself. So, anyway, happy Tuesday.
Yeah.
If I had Mr. Plastic, that is Mr. Fantastic, his arms.
Yeah, Mr. Fantastic.
If I had his arms, I could do it, but I don't. So.
What was that? The other Stretch Armstrong, the one with the vacuum, the enemy.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
You could like put the thing on, you could like suck all the air out of him. He got all crunchy.
Yep.
It was like the anti Armstrong.
Yep. Yeah. My friend had a Stretch Armstrong.
Yeah, I love, dude. I didn't have Stretch Armstrong. What I had was like, it was like Stretch Thompson.
Yeah. No, I didn't have it, but my friend did.
Yeah.
And we destroyed it.
I love a guy. The guy was just sitting at a table looking at like a bowl of corn syrup and thinking, "There's a toy in this."
That's right. Well,
because they always tear in the same spots, right under the armpit, right at the crotch.
Especially when you got one kid one side of the room, the other kid with the arms, it'll do it. So.
Yeah, because instantly when you get a Stretch Armstrong, every kid's like medieval side comes out. We're
Well,
like, let's draw and quarter him.
In all fairness, Stretch Armstrong lost to Buck Rogers, and it was a valiant battle.
Yeah.
And Buck Rogers in his ship came in and took out Stretch Armstrong.
I hate when that happens.
It was a good day. Bad day for Stretch, but a good day for victory.
The Shredder and Raphael hadn't come into play yet.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I remember when I was a kid, I don't know, I can't remember the name of the company that did it, but there was a company that made all the Ninja Turtles toys.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was Galoob or who it was, but they went a little crazy in the 90s when it came to like Ninja Turtles specifically.
Yeah.
Like they would put out, the regular Ninja Turtles action figures, but then they were like, let's put them in baseball uniforms. Or let's put one in a football helmet. Or I had this one, and I don't even know why this was a thing.
Yeah.
But like you could push its head down into the shell, and then you squeeze its legs, and the head would pop up.
Huh.
That was the whole thing. It was like its whole bit.
Well, and that was also in the height of collecting of crap.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's around the time when people that still had Star Wars toys are finding out they were valuable.
Yeah.
So
wait, there's value in these garbage pieces of plastic?
yeah. And then next thing you know, they're like, oh, let's collector's edition everything.
Mm-hmm.
And if you remember, you could get bobbleheads from anywhere. Like you're like, buy some gum. Oh, we did some collector bobbleheads. Here you go.
It's amazing to me how value can be put on things based on I don't even know. It's not even reuse, but just like, it looks like there was some money put into this.
Yeah.
There was a Happy Meal toy a few cycles back. It was these little Crash Bandicoot, just cardboard cards, but they came in a tin, in like a little metal tin. My kids, you'd have thought it was Christmas Day. They were fighting over this tin in the back seat.
Right.
And that's how I know they're mine. They're real rednecks. They fight over shiny stuff. I was like, yeah, you kids are just all right.
Yeah, that was the height of that.
We affix value to stuff based on, ooh, this feels valuable.
I present you the pet rock.
This has got some weight to it.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're dumb. We'll put. I mean, anytime you need a reminder of that, go watch that Beanie Babies movie. I guess Apple Plus or wherever it's at.
I think it's on Max.
Or Max or wherever it's at. I don't even know.
Yep. We, as a society, we have doomed ourselves at least a dozen times.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, happy Tuesday.
Yeah. On that note.
That's right. Put value on things like food.
Yeah.
That I can get behind.
That's right. I mean, it's only going to be here for a little while, but
exactly.
I'm going to enjoy the ride.
But it's an experience.
That's right.
I mean, think about it. You think about things in life. Remember the time we tried that food? Yeah, food's a big thing.
Yeah.
So I'll take it over.
You're not paying for the food. You're paying for it to leave afterwards.
That's right. The passing. I can't wait for the passing.
Just looking forward to the after. It's not the best, admittedly, it's not the best pickup line. Right. I only eat to poop later. Where are you going?
Yeah, not the best pickup.
No.
Maybe save that for marriage.
Really got to get a foot in the door first.
That's right.
Before you go dropping that kind of heat.
Yeah, probably a good idea. Mm-hmm. But nonetheless, it's a beautiful day.
Yes.
80's going to be this. Actually, we were supposed to hit. Oh, now it says 88. But like yesterday, they were saying Thursday was going to be 90. Now it's 88.
Now, are we still under a wind advisory? Because I saw we had a 2-day wind warning.
Today, no.
Oh, nice.
15 today.
Okay.
We got rid of all the red flag stuff yesterday.
Good.
Actually, I don't think. Call me crazy, but this is like 5 to 10 tomorrow, 5 to 10 Thursday.
Wow.
They don't talk about wind for Friday or the weekend.
Knock on wood, we might actually have some nice weather for a couple of days.
There is rain chances, 20% and 30% Friday night, Saturday.
I'll take it.
So we'll see. We'll do the weather.
See, we're in a covered venue for Clovis on Saturday night. I had to make sure. I was thinking about it. Yep, we're good. Well, because you're going to be in ABQ, right?
I will be.
And that's at Tope Stadium, of course.
Yeah.
That is
got
open.
20%, but that's here.
That is
Albuquerque's
open
3 hours away. That's
Right.
a whole other world.
Yeah, you'd have to go look those up.
Yeah. That would be a bummer. It gets rained out.
Right.
Bananas.
Of course,
you can't really make good that.
You got to imagine they're gonna like they would, honor tickets for maybe like the next night.
Yeah, but my night's the last night.
Ooh.
After Sunday, they go on to the next city.
Oh yeah. What?
Or it's actually during the day.
Because they could do that thing where they cover the field and.
Well, it just depends. Yeah, it depends. And
See, that's the thing about making plans so far in advance. You really start to psych yourself out on the build up. You're like, you get the big what ifs.
Oh, you never worry about rain in New Mexico until the day you plan something.
That's right.
and then that's the one day.
Well, and
it'll rain cats and dogs.
I have always been somebody who hates making plans like super far in advance.
Yeah.
I bought tickets for a concert in July back in November.
Yeah.
And I hate I got a good deal for them and all that, but I hated every second of that.
Yeah.
Ugh,
Yeah.
Just because you're putting all this money into a possibility.
Well, that's when I bought the Metallica tickets, and I think for 2 tickets we spent about $600. But it was like a year out,
Right?
And you're like, I better not die between now and then.
Well, and that's the other thing is, there's been a really bad sickness going around, and a couple of us have gotten a little illish, and
Right.
we're just trying to take all the vitamins, get all the anti stuff in us before the weekend, just so we can be semi-healthy for the concert.
We're not down for the sickness,
Right.
But yes, I understand, but yeah, I'm just watch that's going to be the day it rains. Watch.
Knock on wood.
Watch.
Maybe we'll get out of it.
That's right.
Maybe we'll be okay.
Let me give you the rundown for today's show.
Oh, yes.
We're going to replay an interview this hour. Yesterday, we had Tori and Casey join us with the UFO Skate Collective. Give us an update on the new skate park that is in the works that the city is not paying for. They want to make sure they know that.
Yep.
Because the city's kind of broke right now. So you've heard all that.
Mm-hmm. It's not their money.
Yeah. It's a different money's coming. But anyway, we'll get an update from them. Sorry, bad joke. And but they are very adamant about this money is grant from somewhere else. It's not from the city.
Right.
But so we'll play that interview. In the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to have the folks from the Chaves County Extension Office join us, give us an update there with 4-H and through ag and their, of course, the home economic side of things at the Extension Office. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, Lauren from the Roswell Refuge will join us. Of course, they have That 70s Dance, and it's Sexual Assault Awareness Month. So we'll talk all about that with Lauren here in the 9 o'clock hour and get tickets for the dance and all that good stuff. It's a big their annual fundraiser event, That 70s Dance and all that fundraising event for the Refuge and their SANE program.
And also a great chance to break out the bell bottoms. I mean,
some of you wear them all the time. That's the day you can fit in.
There's a back part of at least a couple of guys' closets here in Roswell where that leisure suit is still hanging up. Big open V in the front. Yep.
That's right. I wish I had one.
Just stupid polyester. Lousy with polyester.
I wish I owned one of those.
Yeah,
I do. I want to own one.
It's not quite the leisure suit, but one of the best pictures I remember growing up with my father was I can't remember if it was his wedding day or just a party. He was wearing a powder blue tuxedo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be a wedding.
It was.
That's the only time those ever busted out.
Their wedding, yeah. But it was just a powder blue tux with my dad's just like flawless fro.
Did it have the big collar?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Was there any kind of rufflage?
There was no ruffles. No.
Was there a cummerbund?
I didn't get that far in. It was a waist up photo.
Tails or no tails?
Again, not that. I didn't go that deep. It was a photograph we're talking about. It wasn't one of those Harry Potter ones where it moves and turns and stuff.
I didn't know how much of the photo you saw, all of him, or just.
And this is also me acting on a memory of the photos.
Right. Yep. But oh yeah, you should see my parents' wedding photos. But I believe the suits they wore were of a maroon burgundy variety.
Nice.
But equally as atrocious and ugly.
Really going to stand the test of time. You know?
It is 7:17. Let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. The wind will be calming down a little bit today. We have that low pressure system getting out of our area. High pressure is moving in from Arizona and also the Four Corners region. Mid-80s for the afternoon high. Wind will still be a little bit gusty, 15 to 25 miles an hour. Overnight, breezy or low near 50 under clear skies, and then we're in the upper 80s and not too windy on Wednesday, sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 50 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity's at 27%. Winds currently out of the south at 9 miles per hour. Sunny and 83 for a high today. Winds will be out of the west 10 to 15 miles per hour. Clear tonight, looking at an overnight low of 50, northwest winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Sunny, 88 for a high for Wednesday, west winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, clear skies, overnight low of 52, south winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, sunny, 88 for a high, west winds 5 to 10 in the morning, shifting to the southeast for the afternoon. Friday, partly cloudy and 81 for a high. And as I'd mentioned earlier, there is a 20% chance of rain Friday night, like overnight. Partly cloudy, 55. And then Saturday, we're looking at a 30% chance of rain. Partly cloudy and a high of 71. Saturday night, we're looking at a 30% chance of showers. And then Sunday, a 20% chance of rain, partly cloudy, 69 for a high there. So a little cooler for the weekend. All right, it is 7:19. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll get you into your Roswell Livestock Report recap with Smiley Wooten, and then we'll play our interview with Tori and Casey from the UFO Skate Collective. That's on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Good morning. This is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. 1,345 head of cattle sold on Monday on a steady market with excellent buyer attendance. Compared to last week, stocker calves, feeder cattle, packer cows and bulls sold steady. 3 to 400 pound steers, $377 for bucks. 3 to 400 pound heifers, $340, $342. 4 to 500 pound steers, $325, $377. 4 to 500 pound heifers, $282, $340. 5 to 600 pound steers, $265, $325. 5 to 600 pound heifers, $259, $282. 6 700 pound steers, $231, $265. 6 700 pound heifers, $217, $259. 7 800 pound steers, $222, $231. 7 800 pound heifers, $202, $217. Packer cows, $125, $137. Canner and cutter cows, $115, $122. Packer bulls, $153, $169. Feeder bulls, $140, $145. Top half the cow calf pairs, $2,000 to $2,250 per pair. Top half the bred cows, $1,700 to $1,900 per head. We do appreciate the business, and we'll talk to you next Monday morning. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
Hey, Freddie Sos here with Richland Motors. Are you a Richland brand champion? If you aren't, you should be. Richland brand champions have benefits like half-price oil changes, 100-point safety inspections, free towing, free loaner on availability, and discounts on parts. And it's easy to become a brand champion. Just purchase a new or used vehicle from Richland, and you're in. If you already have a Richland vehicle, then don't miss out on all these benefits and schedule a visit with us today. Come see us at Richland Motors on 2nd and Sycamore in Roswell and become a Richland brand champion today.
It takes a long time to develop trust. At LaGrone Funeral Chapel, they've been earning your trust for decades. They understand how important it is to friends and family to celebrate a life in the way you choose. The professionals at LaGrone will ease your stress and anxieties. They'll provide the guidance you need to select a service that's appropriate. And that's what they've been doing for generations, earning your trust and doing the right thing. LaGrone Funeral Chapel and Crematory, 900 South Main in Roswell. Online at lagronefuneralchapels.com.
If you're missing a tooth or several teeth, a dental implant may be the ultimate solution. Implants look and feel so much like real teeth that you probably forget you have an implant. Maupin & Brown Dentistry is one of New Mexico's most experienced implant providers, with literally thousands of implant patients who are absolutely delighted with the results. Call Maupin & Brown today for an evaluation. You'll be surprised how affordable implants can be. Maupin & Brown, your choice for experienced, state-of-the-art dentistry.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. 47.2% of all statistics are made up on the spot. Is this true? I'd say chances are about 50%. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 24 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the UFO Skate Collective, or if you're online, Skate Bash, whatever, we don't want to confuse people. It's the skate group here in Roswell. Of course, Tori back with us, and Casey as well. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
How's life treating y'all guys?
Pretty great.
Good?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Life, of course, if for folks that don't know what's going on, of course, over the last year here, there's a big thing in the works to build a new park.
Correct.
And so that's the end game, is we're now in the planning and working with the city and the various entities to kind of get a plan put together and getting, turning this from a concept to an actual place where people can go and skate and do their thing. We have a skate park now that is servicing.
It is servicing, that is for sure.
But the end game here is to get a bigger facility where you can probably ultimately host skate competitions and do more official things out at the park here, kind of deal.
Yes. Actually, May 1st, we have our first it's our second public meeting, and it's going to be our first concept design, though. We're actually going to see what they have, drawn up for us, BHI and the city of Roswell, of course. And we do know it's going to be a 35,000 square feet skate park facility, and then on top of that, we'll have 15,800 square feet for the flat track, roller rink, hockey, whichever. So
if you want to play like roller hockey, or if you want to do
roller derby.
Yeah, roller derby, or like
even
is there
disco skating?
I'm going to say, like there's figure skating for ice. Is there a sect of people that do that on rollerblades,
yes,
where they kind of do ice dance, or not ice dance, but skate dancing?
Yeah, so they'll practice on rollers, blades in a sense, and so they'll use just a regular flat roller rink as well.
Okay.
And so that's what it would facilitate all of those type of.
So they could train there, or we could maybe start some organized street hockey leagues, or youth adult. It's really for everybody.
And if anybody, and once these facilities are up, the whole reason. We want to help any type of all wheels, all skills. So I'm like, if anybody who, wants to start a hockey league, needs help, like they don't know how to, spread the word and stuff like that, like we want to help any type of skater, like anybody on wheels, we want to help facilitate with what they need.
Absolutely. Whether you're on a skateboard or rollerblades or roller skates. Let me ask, what about the BMX folks? Are they part of the collective as well too?
Yeah. So actually our photographer, he's a good BMX rider, and he's an amazing photographer as well.
Good deal.
Yes.
And so do they do more of the bowl ramp stuff, or the flat trick flip, or a little bit of everything?
So it's like 50-50, but I do know they are the BMX riders that have been asking for, they've been wanting more of a vert type of a vert setup for the skate park, just because, you can go skate street anywhere, in the streets and stuff like that.
Flat.
Yeah, so that's why there's been more of a need for the vert type of skating.
Place where they can go and work on the tricks and things.
Exactly.
Now, just curiosity, like you said, you're about to see what some of the conditions and things, as far as like some of what you're hoping to see. Is there, and Casey, this is probably more in your wheelhouse, like is there, I'm sure you're kind of eagerly waiting for the plans, but is there certain like aspects you're like, it's got to be in here or something? Is there certain things that you're like, this is something we as a community really need in there, that you're kind of like the one seed of thing you're excited most to see for this park?
Honestly, just something for like new skaters to feel welcome and to bring in. I really want more girls to be like encouraged to skate.
Gotcha.
It's really
so
difficult.
broaden the genre to more people.
Yes. It's kind of difficult. Sometimes I'm the only girl out there, and it's
well,
it's like,
and
oh
as
my
a
gosh.
man who's 50 and grew up, kind of in the heyday of your Tony Hawks and that kind of thing. It's a very dude-centric sport.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're right. These guys were all, in the early days, they're all surfers that kind of, found it as a way to train and do that, and, the whole Lords of Dogtown stuff.
Yeah. Surf skating.
Yeah. But that's dude-centric. That's very dude. So you're right. You're kind of breaking some of that, those ceilings, those glass ceilings a little bit here, and saying, you know what? Girls are just as much into skating as guys are. And to be honest, I'm not sure if it's 50-50, but I got to imagine when I like watch a video or watch something online, it's almost equal as many girls out there, skating and doing tricks as there guys out there.
So. Female skateboarding right now is actually the #1 growing sports demographic. Just unfortunately, not for Roswell, but in the whole, in the spectrum of sports, it is actually the #1 growing sport right now. For females.
And I'm not trying to get got girls, guys are better at this and that, but it makes sense that because just the way the female body is built, like your center of balance and things, like women tend to be better at balance and those so I think for skating that's probably I imagine there's probably tricks that just because of the female anatomy and how the body's built, that guys can't do because just the sense of balance and things like when you see some of the gymnastics, the balance beam and some of the incorporate that into skating where dudes, that's, they're more strength and, what I mean? Like guys gymnastics about the rings and strength and it's the balance side is a little bit backseat for dudes. Whereas skating, I mean, that's just as important as all the strength and other stuff.
Oh, for sure. Honestly, I would say it's more of skating's such a mental game. It's such a mental game. Mm-hmm. I mean, it changes your mindset completely when you're out there skating. It's a scary sport. It's super scary. It's more, I would say...
Well, it's an adrenaline rush.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely.
For sure.
It's why people bungee jump or anything else.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, skating doesn't have to go to that dangerous level, but you can ultimately make it that way.
Right.
If,
but it teaches you how to fall, too.
Oh, for sure. I think that's why more men really, lean into skating just because of the danger in
the
it.
X factor of danger to it, or the adrenaline.
When you see women skating, a lot of the time it's vert. A lot of the time,
so bringing more of the art form of the sport into it, if that makes sense. Like the girls are bringing the art. You know, and what I mean by that is that the interpretive side. Like I could easily see a skate routine turning into something like an interpretive ice dance if you wanted it to.
And they do those types of competitions where people spin around on their board, they jump off and on.
You do it to music and you're creating a routine and why not? I think that'd be a cool thing. I'd love to see that.
They do have those types of competitions and I think it's really cool. I think people need to realize how broad the sport of skating really is. And it's not just skateboards, it's again all wheels, all skills.
Absolutely, yeah, like speed skating and stuff. Mm-hmm. Like you watch Winter Olympics and you see some of the ice skating events and speed skating. You can do all that in roller too and roller speed.
Roller skaters, they do all these crazy flips. They're upside down half the time, and that's where you were talking about the women and the physical physique and stuff.
Yeah.
I really think that's why they excel so much with the roller skating is just because they're doing some crazy stuff. Even Geneva Martinez, I think, has shown you some of the stuff she does.
I'm saying they're pushing envelopes here. Just face it, guys' bodies don't bend that way.
Mine doesn't bend that way either,
Exactly.
It's really cool, though, to watch. And I think, too, once the girls realize in town that, most of the stuff we're doing in the skate community is run by females right now.
Cool.
Of course, we have the guys, in the background helping us 100%. But it's mostly it's a lot of us women doing the advocating,
being more
coming out and
proactive
stuff.
about
going out and meeting people.
We have the voice.
The guys are like, we'll be here if you need us. But y'all go out and make friends and come back and get us.
Yeah, no, it's 100%. Whenever I'm like, hey, we got a meeting, they show up. They're always there. And then, because even how you mentioned when you would ask Casey about what we're hoping to see at the skate park, a lot of people are wanting kidney bowls, some and that's and it's all for everybody.
Sure.
And even round rails, because for some reason we only have one square 20-foot rail here, and it's
and I imagine you want different levels of it. So you wanted some of the stuff that a beginner could enjoy and work on, but at the same time, someone who's been doing it for 10 years can also get on it. And so maybe there's some that are set up for your first timers, and if you want to get entry level, or it's not as high or not as long or it's not as. But then they can graduate to the bigger bowls, to the bigger rail, to the ones that are, the like in skiing, the black diamond slopes. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah, that kind of
and
thing.
We are, and that's one thing that was requested in the grant writing for the design is that we have beginner and advanced sections for each, for vert and street, just because especially when we're getting 35,000 square feet, that's more than enough room for beginners and advanced people and all in between.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, the roller rink, even though, it's going to be a huge flat space, you could use it, the skateboarders can also use it when, is in there.
absolutely.
It's just skate etiquette.
Or I could even see it going into like using it time to time, like old school, the roller rink or ice rinks where you have, hey, come open skate. Everyone pays $5 and they play
like
music.
A roller disco. That's what we were just talking about.
Why can't we do that? I mean, on a Saturday night one night, coming out and maybe get a band playing and
we do
someone
that.
out there doing food and stuff. You have a
For
fun time, yeah.
And we normally get bands for our events also, which that really, it gets all the skaters pumped up when they hear the music.
Well,
going.
the music go hand in hand. You can't skate without the music in the background. BMX or any of that.
Right, 100%.
Growing up in the days of Thrasher and all that was where one goes with the other.
It definitely does. And then that's like what's also cool is because we get local bands even from Albuquerque that come down and stuff. And so we're not just helping, the skate community. We're also helping just the locals or like the youth in general. That's kind of our whole goal because we even did like a farmer's skate market one time too. So skateboarders who are artists in a way, they came out with had their own tables set up. Like we try to help the skaters, not just with skating, just, all aspects of their life because there's nothing here for the youth anymore.
That kind of spawns another question because I grew up playing roller hockey and I'm Hockey World and all that.
I remember you mentioned that.
I kind of know of a little bit of what you guys do. I'm not into the tricks and things, but I was with the guys playing hockey on.
I'm just a pro cruiser is what I tell people.
Yeah, but I kind of understand the dirt you chew a little bit here, and so my question too is could it get to a point where it's because like you're saying you get it's growing and everything else, but you guys are very much not only skaters but you're also your pit crew and engine so odds are if your skates aren't working or your board's not working or your bike not working, who's the one working on it? You usually. So how much of the community is that too where it's just the exchange of hey, these are good trucks, the bearings, these are the great wheels for this. I mean, how much of the community is that that technical side of? I mean,
it's a lot of our skaters. So we did a class for March, and that was where the skateboarders, and we had different skateboarders teach the class like every other, each weekend we would have another one come out. But the very first class, we had the skateboarders look at everyone's boards. And even when we don't have those, like skating, just if you're at the park and we notice something's up with a kid's board, we go and help and explain to them. Because, a lot of times, too, the parents will go to Big Five or Walmart and buy one of, the Tony Hawk boards there, which, it's a really great idea to get all those, to get more accessible for those who can't afford it. They're like $40 anyways, or $20 to $40, and you have to replace those bearings.
And they're built for just general skating. They're probably not
even push
built
or
designed for doing ramp work or anything.
It's not even the street. You can barely, because the bearings are stuck in those wheels. So a lot of times we'll give kids new bearings, hey, and then the board works fine, So but even element decks, that they actually sell brand new completes for little kids $40 online, and that's what we always try to tell the parents, hey, next time you guys get a board, let us know and we'll help you get one.
Yeah, and I knew that from the rollerblade side because I'm because for folks that don't know, for depending on what you're doing with rollerblades, there's a different type.
Exactly.
There. If you're playing hockey with it, there's a different type of rollerblade than if you're just skating around the backyard with it, kind of thing. Now, if you're doing speed skating or more figure, it's all the blade, the wheels are set up for hockey. It's what they call a rocker style, where the four wheels on your rollerblade, the two inside wheels are lower than the two front and back to create a rocker style, more like a hockey ice blade.
No, and that makes sense.
The other day I had a busted bearing, and Bob, great guy, he gave me some new bearings, and it was just awesome. He was like, I can hear your broken bearing from here. I was like, I know, it's so bad.
You sound like a hot mess coming.
I was like, oh my gosh. But
that's the cool part of the community, too.
For sure.
Because you make friends, and it's going to be cool in this park, and it's going to be great when it's all said and done. But really, it's a community bringing things together. It's really about a place for folks, young people, old people, all people, to come together and hang out. Whether you were a skater when you were a kid, now you want to bring your kids out here, or you know what? No, I want to be in the X Games. That's my goal for one day, to be doing that, or the Olympics. Yeah, that's my goal nowadays. And whatever that is, the skate park is there for that to meet those needs.
Exactly. We're actually, and that was another contact we just in the future, we want our park to be able to host those type of events where like our people in New Mexico could get ranked, so they could possibly go farther. And that way they don't have to go all the way to California. We already got their information, set of requirements, and it's already been given to BHI, who are the designers right now. And it's right now when we're doing the concept design. So, we're trying to make sure that we get all of that input, like I can't talk. Sorry, got put into the design.
Sure. So just at end game here, is there a desire to, when this is all said and done, where we could even attract some of the bigger level of skate to here, where we're seeing some of the professional level skaters coming through Roswell, even if it's for demonstrations and stuff, maybe lead to perhaps a competition of some kind?
Yes, and there's actually some people in El Paso. It's the Pacatoo Skate Plaza. They do those all the time. They do skate demos, and they'll have these events. And so I started asking them, like, hey, how do you guys about doing this? And kind of put me in the direction. And why our nonprofit is so important right now is because once we get local businesses interested in donating to us, because we even have a fiscal nonprofit until ours is 100% up and running, thanks to Dan Jennings from the Human Forward nonprofit.
They're kind of being your umbrella until your paperwork is all.
Yes, and he's been very helpful with everything, because I could not get this nonprofit done without him for sure. And so
it lines up with what they do too with 100% Chavez County and all that. It's all about making better quality of life
and for the youth,
for the
too.
community. Yeah.
And so we can actually pay them to do demos here. And one goal that I'm really hoping is once it is up and running, and once we do get local businesses, because we're going to try with sponsor packages right now, just businesses like interested. And so once we have that set in stone, we're gonna go knocking on all their doors. But the end goal is once we get enough donations and we have enough to supply our town as well, as to pay for local skate demos for the pros to come down, because it's literally all we have to do is just pay for their their here
lodging.
Their lodging, and I work hotel, so I'm like, we'll figure something out.
You got some ins.
Yes, and that's and I think definitely during the UFO festival would bring a huge thing. And that would bring a lot of people to town, skating wise. And especially if imagine, we had band just roll through by accident, because they were going they wanted to check out Stellar Coffee. They were going to all these local coffee shops.
Okay.
But, imagine if there's an amazing, huge park here, all the accidental, skateboarders that are just going to come through because they know this is here.
Sure.
And on top of it, too, like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, the last video game came out with had a secret level, which was Roswell.
Oh, wow.
And so that's why the UFO theme is such a, that's why we were pushing for it, because we're like, we need to build
There is
UFO.
a niche there. Let's embrace it and let's do something with it. Yeah.
There's even a park that's just a frying pan with eggs, and people drive all over to skate park, and I'm like, who wouldn't drive to come skate some features?
Absolutely, yeah.
And we actually had an online survey, and more than half the public wanted that, and it was all yeses and just maybes, and then one or two no's, but yeah, so I'm stoked that it's a yes, because that's definitely a way to bring people in.
Sure. Well, what's the possibility? Maybe you do maybe we create something, here, cosmic bowling and things like that. We do something with skates, alien skates or something weird. I don't know.
No, and
but there's the possibility.
So many possibilities are endless when it comes to that, and especially with the youth, because they're so involved in what we're doing, and they have such good ideas that once we all workshop everything, we'll have ideas for sure.
Absolutely. But it sounds good. So I guess the next thing is this next planning meeting here to kind of unveil the preliminary concept for the skate park.
Yes.
And when is that meeting again?
It's going to be May 1st at 4:30 at the Roswell Public Library, and it's super important.
And the public is invited and encouraged to come be a part of this.
Yes, because if they don't like something, they need to come and speak up, because this is the time. If they don't, it's going to be stuck in there.
Once the cement's laid and everything's down, it's kind of hard to fix it.
Yeah, and not go like this is what this next meeting is for. And there's also a Parks and Rec meeting tonight, which it will be at 5:30 at the Parks and Rec building off of 4th Street.
Okay.
And that's really good too, because normally when we go to city council meetings, we can't ask questions. We can only give a statement.
Sure.
And that's it.
It's
like
very
they can,
structured and formal.
100%. So this, we're actually allowed to ask the questions, and
a little
it's
bit
all
more
on
exchange of
record.
ideas going on there.
Yeah, and
okay.
and that kind of gives, the public a chance to have more transparency
Absolutely.
in everything going on.
And like you said, this is new. This
Mm-hmm.
is, and let's face it, we're bringing people that this is their world and introducing it to the people that it's not their world. And so you got to find the compromise there. You got to have enough of the high-end expert stuff that keeps the people that this is what they do, but at the same time bring some stuff that brings in newbies and people that know of skating but have never donned or put themselves on anything with wheels before, to get them to be and come out and try this too, even if it's just to come out and go skate around in the rink for a little bit and just bring their family out to skate with them for a little fun, bring the kids. And but either way, we want this park to be equally exciting for someone that's never picked a skateboard or a rollerblade or a BMX bike or a scooter, to someone that this is what they do every day. And that's what this park is going to be, to bring the niche to the common and bring the commons to niche stuff.
Exactly.
That's the point of this.
And then I know also too, a lot of the stuff we do is free. Like we have a skateboard event, which is going to be on June 21st, and that'll start at 4, and that's on a Friday as well. And so that's last year was our biggest event that we had, and we had like 3 bands playing, and so we hope to get some bands playing, a jolly jump this go around too. And because even if they're not skating, they can go hop on in that, and we really try.
Food trucks.
Yeah.
Everyone likes food.
No,
Come on now.
That would be fun.
Hey,
though.
food trucks, hang out, man. Come out there and go. Just
food trucks,
if you got a food truck, bring it. Come out there and just park. That's the beauty of food trucks.
And we even have barbecue. Like every time we do any type of event out there, we're out there with our grill,
Yeah.
But we do trash pickup too. That's a very important thing. And then but also too, I know a lot of people in town that aren't really aware of what's going on. They're like, oh, we can't afford a skate park right now, but all that type of stuff.
Yeah, the city's broke.
Yeah, the city is 100% broke, and we are not asking, and that's the important thing for people to know. We're not taking any money from
This
the
is part
city.
of a grant program. It's a completely earmarked
We're
separate thing.
bringing the money to
The
Roswell.
city is not providing us the money. We're providing the city the money in order to get this.
They're going out doing the work, the legwork to get the grants and all that, and saying, "Hey, we got the money.
Yeah, well, and it's a
Just
lot of Googling
help us with
too.
your logistics so we can do it."
A lot of Googling.
Because unfortunately, we can't write the grant. The city has to. We have to have the city grant writer do it, or one of the engineers. But we are definitely Googling, telling them where to go.
But this is what I also like too, because it forces younger generation like yourself to see how the sausage is made and to learn how to navigate that system to get what you want.
For sure. It's great being a part of this. I mean, I'm learning so much, even just from Tori. From
to me, that's the great part, is to learn a little bit of how, and even if you're hitting roadblocks and hitting stuff, at least you have a better understanding of how to get things done in our system.
And the important thing too isn't to give up. You have to keep going.
Yeah, because you're going to get told no a lot.
I've been
I'm sure
told
you already
no
have.
every day.
Yeah, you just got to get people to embrace the concept, and which has happened now.
Oh,
and
and
now
it's such a good
yeah.
feeling too once you get those yeses, because you're like, well, hey, we made it farther than we thought.
Sure.
It's pretty awesome.
And this is something that I think your generation gets to embrace a little bit, is because now that skating and skateboarding and really the whole genre of the sport has now gone from, it was a rebel thing that punk kids did for angst, to now it's an Olympic event, it's X Games, it is as big a business as football or basketball or any other majors.
When they're pushing all-inclusive, like, it's not just us who are wanting an all-inclusive skate community. It's all of it. It's the whole skate community almost. Like, of course, there's, half of them who, still want that rebel thing, but that's not here. We don't have any of those in our community.
But even that's a little bit of the culture, because quite frankly, to get on a piece of with four wheels and go up and down ramps and fly midair, it takes a certain mindset to say this is, you know what I mean? And you need that. That's what you need to function in life a little bit to do a lot. So there is always going to be that, because that's what it takes to push the envelope, to go higher, faster, to add one more spin, to do it fakey or not fakey, you know, whatever, to push that envelope to do the next thing. That's what it takes to do that.
No, sure. And we're actually trying to plan an adult skate class for adults to learn how to drop in, because we did a kids skate class where the kids got to learn how to drop in. These little kids are amazing. And I mean, these kids have not been skating more than a couple months. They learned how to drop in within 15 minutes.
That's great.
And so once people saw that and they're like, what? You know, adults started reaching out. So we are planning something like that, because why not? You know, make it so they know how to use this new skate park
and
when
it's
it's
something
here.
they can take with them the rest of their life.
Yeah.
Like when they're long and adults and whatever, even if they're not in an organized thing, if they need to go clear their head, they get on their board and go skate around for a little bit. Or they get on their rollerblades and skate around. They get on their bike and go do, even if they don't take this to the X Games or the Olympics, it is their thing that they get to do. Whether, their buddies go golfing or play tennis on the weekends, they go boarding.
No, and it's actually been really growing too. Even on our on the online survey, the age group for skaters were the 30. It was 35 to like 40 something was the second, but the highest one was the 54 age group.
Yeah.
And I was like,
well, Tony Hawk's define everybody. That man's in his 50s, and he's still arguably one of the best skaters in the world.
And all the injuries that guy has had, and he's walk around better than us. You know.
Well, so nuts. Like I watched that documentary on him that I think HBO Max or one of those had. And it was right after he broke his leg around that time. And the beginning of that documentary shows him, he's trying to nail a trick. And he's literally going to a point where he needs to go to the hospital because he's beating himself up so bad trying to, and his people are like, Tony, please stop. And he's not. He's like, you can tell he's wincing in pain, but he's climbing back up the ladder,
and he keeps going.
getting at the top of the ramp and he nails the trick thing. He still does it, but and
a lot
I'm
of
sorry,
skateboarders
most
do
of us
the
aren't
same.
Tony that way.
Like even yesterday, I was at the skate park and the guys were doing the same trick because they kept following. I was like, oh my God, your head, you're gonna break your head, and they just kept going, and I was like, and they eventually get it.
Big part of the sport.
I have so much respect for people that have that, because you're literally, and that's part of what skating can build for some of these kids, and building that mindset of determination. And when human beings get a passion for something, it's very hard to stop them off of that. And for skating, that's a lot of people.
And now, a lot of things are just there now. So everything's just, a kid wants something, they Google it, With the skating and stuff, they actually have to learn how to do the trick. So It's not something they can just get. They have to practice it, and it's teaching them, it
skating's
teaches you stuff.
It's always like that. Even in our younger days, it's always in the sport. You want it, you got to build it.
You got to earn it. You
and
gotta
so
work for
it literally, skating is built off the backs of themselves. If people want to build it, that's why I'm going to say most skaters also are amateur carpenters.
They're amazing at it, too.
And because they want it, they build it. If there isn't thing. And so we're trying to change that to make it to where there are facilities and places where they could just go buy a helmet, a skateboard, and some knee pads and go have some fun.
I ended up learning how to lay concrete out, actually, because I was going out there to fix cracks.
I'm about to say, y'all are amateur contractors here.
I'm definitely amateur on my end. I was like, hey, but he has to do it, because it's not getting done. So
But that's skating, because the generation before you were doing the exact same thing, and the generation before that were doing the exact same thing.
Because even skate parks too, 10 years ago, they weren't like they are now. Like the new skate parks are amazing,
And the vibe was always to make it a little ghetto. Like, you own it, you spray paint it up and tag it up and give it a vibe of that. And so people that don't know decide that that's a crime element. It's like, no, that's just hang out. That's the clubhouse. That's the clubhouse.
Well, and even the old skate park, we started doing we would have people who do group large scale. We got them. They did drawings, and we it to Parks and Rec, and they approved some of them they didn't approve of. That happens.
Sure.
And the one that got approved, they went out there and painted, and it worked. Because our plan was, let's get the guys who are coming out here that aren't good at graffitiing, that are just spraying wherever.
Let's get some people to know what they're doing and make some art out of this.
And it deterred the graffiti. And even right now too, like one of them did get tagged up, but that guy got caught and arrested because it was the one that was tagging all around town.
People see it and they respect. It's like, I respect what they're doing here. That would be blasphemous for me to tag it or do something shady to
and that's
it,
why we asked the graffiti people too, because they understand it's not, they paint something, they never see it again, so they wouldn't be upset when it accidentally got tagged,
Sure.
So, and we still are doing that, but with the wind and stuff, it just takes
Well, it evolves too. Maybe the painting's not relevant anymore. All right, let's paint something new.
Exactly.
That's
and it'll never last forever.
Absolutely. That's the thing with skating. As skating is, I mean, yes, you can enjoy it your whole life, but your mindset of what you think about it changes. The younger, you're a little more angry, a little bit more trying to make your way in the world and trying to prove to everybody your worth. And then when you hit a certain age, you're done proving, and you're just like, I'm here doing my thing, man. You like it? Great. If you don't,
exactly.
Not my problem.
You're right. No, and that is true, 100%.
Yeah, but this is very cool. So please come to these meetings. Come to the Parks and Rec meeting today.
Yes.
Come out on May 1st to the unveiling of kind of our first conceptual drawings of this new skate park and what it hopes to be someday. And obviously, when we see that, that's where people will be, I like that, but this and that, and that's where we'll all pick it apart and do what we do, because that's what humans do. But this is a good thing. This is all putting us to someday we're going to have a new park, and we're going to have the big scissors cutting the ribbon thing and all that stuff and all that.
And we picked a location too.
That's right.
Yeah, so the location is going to be directly right behind the old skate park in that dirt field between the
aquatic.
Yeah, the aquatic center's parking lot and the that playground, the all-inclusive.
So is there plans for what is currently the skate park? Is that going to be something else? Are they going to expand it into more skate park, or just stay it as the old skate park?
So we actually are. That was a great question, because a lot of people, think that it's part of the same project. Unfortunately, with the grants, the grant very strict, has to be a whole new park. You can't work on the old.
Can't renovate it. Create.
So, but because I've been aware of that for a year now, I've actually been working with skate ecosystems and the engineers, because the engineers even agree we need professionals to come out here and repair the park. And they also have park funds for repairs and everything. We just need somebody in the city building to sign off on it. And once they do, and they already got like the offer and stuff, because what we need to do is go in and all those conjunction joints, I think that's what it's called, but all the joints in the skate parks, they're huge cracks now. So we have to go through and jackhammer all of that out and then re-pour the concrete.
So it's a little bit of major renovation there.
Yeah, but it was, and all the engineers even said that was a great offer, like a good, I forget the word, but the pricing that they were given, they all were for
Reasonable.
it. Yeah, and so even if not, like with our nonprofit, our goal is to, if the skate park does have a crack or something, once we have the money,
to maintain it.
Yeah, and it, and that's what we want to do is, because we can't demo it. Unfortunately, it would be a lot easier just to bulldoze that whole old park and start all over. But that would just cost too much money.
And then who knows, if down the road, maybe it evolves and we expand it to the other park, and we just say, hey, if popularity is there, we need another section for another rink or another ramp or whatever.
And even those metal ramps, we've talked about lifting them up and moving them maybe to the east side of town or somewhere even down at the base, because they technically have a skate park down there. Yeah. It's just one ramp though. It's
Well, and I could easily see if like hockey, say the roller hockey catches on, they start leagues. They're going to need more than one court.
Oh,
because when you have more teams, it's like soccer fields. You're going to need a couple of them to get, and so that might be the evolution of that down the road, where depending on where the demand is, and maybe it's ramps, maybe it's roller rinks, whatever. Who knows? But it allows you to let it grow as demand and what people want from it change.
And that's the idea too, is once those blue ramps are lifted, then we can have skate ecosystems come in, pour something new, like a new type of something, or like a ramp or or like concrete type of structures, and it would be really, and that's kind of where sorry, I had a brain fart for a second. And that's where the public really comes in, because I make sure I get all of the skaters' opinions, the ones who want to voice it. And a lot of the times you'll see something repeated a lot. So that's the main.
Sure. A lot of people say the same thing, then that's probably an important.
And so that whatever we do, we're going to make sure we get our public's opinion, because they're going to be writing it more than I am, and we want to make sure that they do feel like they're the whole process with planning and design, because that'll give them the love for the new park. So let's say somebody's out there graffitiing it, they might stop that because they actually helped build the park, in a sense, and it'll give them more pride towards this. Like they'll feel like, oh, I own it. Or not I own it, but they accomplished something with the building.
They take a sense of ownership.
Yeah, like pride and stuff. Yeah. And because it's going to have bathrooms too.
That would be important.
Yes.
Because sometimes you got to pee.
Every now and then.
And they don't. We're out of time here, but if folks want to learn more too, on Facebook, if you go to UFO Skate Bash is what it's under, Roswell, you can like and follow and stay up to date on all these meetings, updates. If you want to get more involved and volunteer, that's probably a good way to reach out to you guys.
For sure.
and
then our email is also ufoskatecollective@gmail.com, and that's what our Instagram's under. And so our Instagram, we have daily updates all the time too.
So if you do more Instagram, it's more, but older folks like us are on
so it's shared. It goes to Facebook.
Us gray heads and no hairs go on Facebook. So
yeah, that's what I had before all this. I had to get with the young group. I'm like, okay, what are they on?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
But come out and come be involved and come out to the old park here and get come bring your rollerblades and start meeting the community and have some fun. And
because we do stuff all the time.
Absolutely. Good deal. Well, thank you, guys.
No, thank you for having us.
Anytime. We'll see you next time.
See you next time. Mike.
Next time, maybe we're talking about groundbreakings and things.
Fingers crossed.
So, yeah, crossing fingers and toes. But.
No, for sure. Thank you so much.
But thank you guys. Appreciate it.
I almost took your toy.
Thank you, too.
That's all right. We got more. It is 10 o'clock. That's going to do it for us. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. News in progress.
President Trump's New York criminal trial says Mr. Trump must be in court every day. That could keep him from attending his son Barron's high school graduation. He also may miss an upcoming hearing before the nation's highest court.
Before the United States Supreme Court on a very big hearing on immunity. And this is something that we've been waiting for a long time. And the judge, of course, is not going to allow us. He's a very conflicted judge. And he's not going to allow us to go to that. He won't allow me to leave here for a half a day, go to D.C. and go before the United States Supreme Court.
And Mr. Trump back in court this morning. This is day 2 of jury selection. EV maker Tesla may lay off a tenth of its workforce.
CEO Elon Musk detailed the plans in a memo sent to employees. The layoffs could affect about 14,000 of the 140,000 workers employed by the Austin, Texas company at the end of last year. The New York Times and CNBC reported that Musk cited the need for cost reductions and increased productivity. Tesla's sales fell sharply last quarter as competition increased worldwide, electric vehicle sales growth slowed, and price cuts failed to draw more buyers. I'm Norman Hall.
The Baltimore Bridge collapse, the subject of an FBI criminal probe focusing on events leading up to the catastrophe. Meanwhile, the body of a fourth construction worker has been recovered at the scene, 2 others still missing. Watching Wall Street, the Dow is up 117 points, the NASDAQ 6 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
A teen is charged with wounding a bishop and a priest during a church service, the second high-profile knife attack in Sydney, Australia in recent days. Authorities declaring the church attack an act of terrorism.
Australian police believe the alleged attacker was motivated by religious extremism. Video of the service has shown an individual walking towards the altar before appearing to repeatedly stab a bishop at the Christ the Good Shepherd Church in Sydney. A teenager has been arrested. Outside the church, a large crowd angry at the attack clashed with the police, forcing paramedics to seek shelter inside the building. The Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese will meet with his national security advisors in Canberra.
The BBC's Phil Mercer. One of Copenhagen's oldest buildings, a 17th century old stock exchange, is burning. Its iconic spire has collapsed. News and analysis, townhall.com. The mystery of the UFO, that's an unidentified falling object, has been solved.
The debris struck a home in Naples, Florida on March 8th, ripping through the ceiling and tearing up the flooring. NASA recovered the object and took it to the Kennedy Space Center in Cape Canaveral for analysis. The space agency says it was a metal support weighing 1.6 pounds used to mount old batteries on a cargo pallet for disposal. The pallet was jettisoned from the space station in 21, and the load was expected to eventually fully burn up on re-entry into Earth's atmosphere. But one piece survived. No one on the ground was injured. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
Stung by paying billions for settlements and trials, chemical giant Bayer has been lobbying lawmakers in 3 states to pass bills providing the company a legal shield from lawsuits and claim its popular weed killer Roundup causes cancer. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The traveler said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2. The Deuce. Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Yeah, buddy.
It's Tuesday.
The second day of the rest of your life.
Weather's nice.
Oh, it is.
Sunny.
Quite nice.
Not many clouds out there. A few wispy ones, but not too many.
It's officially reached that I can leave my jacket just in a place, not worry about it. It's still at hand.
Yeah.
But I'm not reaching for it.
I wore it today. Like,
Yeah.
I'm wearing it. I'm not from home, but
Yeah.
I did this morning. It's still, like right now it's 58. That's still jacket.
But I like the crisp, like the
I do too.
the cool on the skin. I like that. So that's why I'll go jacket free in weather like this.
I do too to a point, but now I get cold.
Yeah.
That's weird.
It's probably an older thing. Of course, this is coming from a man I remember distinctly walking into Mike's house on several occasions. And bundling up because, my God, the man hangs meat
I
in his
know.
house.
I'm changing, man.
Changes. You're going through the change of life, my friend. Is this menopause?
Yes, I'm going through menopause.
You're having cold flashes.
I'm going to go buy a Ferrari. Oh, man.
You know, there's not many like moments where I'm like, you know, have those midlife crises moments or whatever.
Yeah.
Never mind the fact that I am in the process of trying to set up a home bar. That's not a midlife crisis thing at all. No, but the only time I've ever been like slightly interested in like a car, I saw this one drive by the other day. It was I think it was just like a Challenger or something, but the paint job on this car, it was awe-inspiring. I stopped. I followed him for a while because no matter which angle you looked at it and how the light hit it, it was a completely different color.
Nice.
I know it's called chameleon. I've heard of the color before.
To use a term from our generation, was it cherry?
It was fire, to use a term the new kids are using.
All right.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, cool. Yeah, I'm not a car guy like that. I like my Jeep, and I drive a Jeep, and that's pretty much my thing.
Clearly I'm not a car guy. I drive 2 steps above a golf cart, all right? But I love my golf cart, for the record.
Well, why can't you be a car guy and drive the car like you have?
Because
Why can't you?
I'll say that you can be like a rally car guy and drive my car. I've been stopped several times by people and been like, "Oh, I bet you could drift sick in that thing."
Right.
Yeah, but I'm not going to. This is how I get my kids to school.
Like, I could think like a car guy could be a car guy, but he's like, I focus on the vehicles of Mr. Bean.
Yeah. The one I always loved and kind of wanted was the car from Family Matters. Urkel's car. Do you remember?
I do not.
Okay, so he drove this. It was like a Russian car or something. And the door was in the front of the car.
Okay.
So like you'd open the door and it would hatch this way. And you can get out of the car. I loved that car. That car was awesome. And he got Myra in that car. That car must have been something.
It had a uniqueness to it. So that's why, anytime you got an odd looking car, that's going to set you up, even if it is quote unquote not a muscle car or something that's turned heads that way.
Mm-hmm. See, that to me also is the epitome of incongruous couplehood.
Yeah.
The girl they set Urkel up with on Family Matters, Myra.
Yeah.
She was, and still is, far too hot for even Stefan. Like Stefan Urkel when he went like the cool hot boy or whatever.
Well, that's TV in general.
I know. It's incongruous hot chick with schlubby dude, but
I mean, does anybody still think Kevin James could have got the wife he got in King of Queens? In all honesty.
I live in Roswell, man. I see it all the time. I see it a lot, dude. Now, could he do it on the salary that he made? Probably not.
Right. They're living in Queens on a UPS what is she, a paralegal or something?
I think,
or a secretary?
she's bringing home the bacon in that.
But I don't even think she is.
Hood.
This is it. And they live in Queens, which is like that house, I'm going to guess, is $500,000.
Rent controlled. They were grandfathered in. You know, that's
the running joke with Friends.
That's
too.
the way they always explained it was like Ross's grandfather or something like that owned the apartment.
Mm-hmm.
But okay,
because in real life, people are like, there's no way they could afford that apartment in New York City. Yeah. Speaking of TV, I checked out yesterday. On
I tend to after work. Usually.
Apple Plus.
Oh.
I saw commercials for it over the weekend. I'm like, they have a new series out on Benjamin Franklin.
Okay.
It's called Franklin.
All right.
It stars Michael Douglas as Benjamin Franklin. And I'm kind of like...
Michael Douglas is Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah, Michael Douglas is the role of Benjamin.
I just don't know if that's not the Benjamin Franklin I've been raised to believe is...
Well, once you watch it, I think he nails Ben. Like, maybe. I mean, he doesn't have quite the spectacles and the Quaker Oats look that one would expect to see Ben.
Mm-hmm.
But I see Ben. Like, he's got the long hair. That's kind of been like his mannerisms, the way he talks is very.
I think the problem I have with it is I don't know enough about Ben. Now, granted, this would be a great program for me because I could learn, but the only thing I've ever known about Ben Franklin are tidbit fun facts.
Yeah.
Like that's, key with the kite, turkey was supposed to be the national bird.
Well, and
$100 bill. I mean, there's little things.
But to be honest, the show even portrays it like that. Like in Ben Franklin's time, because he was a superstar internationally.
Mm-hmm.
And so he goes to France, and he's like a superstar, and they all think I invented electricity.
Oh yeah.
And so
there it is. off topic to what we were talking about a second ago, but Patrick checking in on the chat says the Urkel's car was called the BMW Isetta.
Okay.
I looked it up, and there it is. That's exactly the car.
Nice.
It's like I said, it's got the door in the front.
Ooh, again, Mr. Bean-like.
Exactly. Very Mr. Bean adjacent. Yes. Yes. But I love that car. That thing. I mean, I don't even think it has 4 wheels. I think it's only got 3.
3-wheeler, like Mr. Bean.
Like Mr. Bean. But anyways, back to Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah. So I think it's well done. Now the first, I think 4 episodes are up there on Apple Plus now.
Okay.
And I watched them. They're 45 minutes or whatever. And if you're not familiar, during the Revolution, Franklin's role was a statesman. He was over in France procuring French support.
Mm-hmm.
The reason France came and helped us is a lot because of Benjamin Franklin, pushing,
politicking,
secret meetings, and
he was, he was America's first lobbyist.
Yeah, but here's the thing with Franklin. I knew this going in. He's kind of a player. Like Franklin is very charismatic. Women swoon to him.
It's a great pickup line. Hey, I'm on money.
Yeah.
It's a great line.
But he was
100.
He was a flirty type.
Mm-hmm.
And he loved the company of ladies, and they kind of portray that a little bit in the show here. And now and what I like about this, and this is something that they don't talk about in the books of history, but when he was over in France there, his grandson Temple was kind of his aide, I guess you could say, and would be, and of course he was like 17, 18 at the time, so he's right at that age of being a man. And so you portray a lot of Temple, his grandson, in there, in like his connections with Marquise de Lafayette and all that kind of thing, which you know who that is, and
you never hear
pick
about
up a history book.
Temple Franklin.
Yes, Temple, his grandson.
You never heard that name in the history.
Well,
books.
his dad, which would have been Brian Franklin's son, was in prison at the time because he was loyal to the crown.
Uh-huh.
And he was the Massachusetts, I think it was Massachusetts, Assembly had him in jail for war crimes. Ben Franklin's son.
Wow.
But his grandson Temple was too. If you didn't know all this.
See, this
is real life.
This is the beauty of it, though.
Yeah.
Even back in the 1700s,
yeah,
kids rebelled against their dads. They're like, "No, screw you, Dad. I'm sticking with the crown."
Yeah. Well, and that's what I don't think people don't realize is that time is. I know, growing up as kids, you watch all the documentaries, the things in school, and it was like this kumbaya revolution and Boston Tea Party, and next thing you know, everyone was on board.
Everyone was smiling in white.
Yeah.
I remember. I've seen the pictures.
And that's not real life.
There was no gangrene.
And quite honestly, not every quote-unquote colonist was a revolutionary.
Mm-hmm.
Many were still loyal to the crown and considered themselves British subjects. And it wasn't like black and white where everyone was like, "Yay, get the lobster backs." And it wasn't like that.
All right.
And this kind of shows you that even in the Franklin, which considered one of our founding fathers, his son was loyal to the crown and was in prison for it in America.
Yeah, that's something.
But anyway, it's very good. The first 4 episodes, and to be honest, they do a great job of making it kind of interesting because you see a little. Now it's slow. There's a lot of dialogue, a lot of talking. It's not action oriented. If you're looking for a piece about the Revolutionary War and expect to see a bunch of fighting, that's not this show. This show's following Franklin. Franklin had nothing to do with being in the trenches.
Right.
He was in Europe the whole time.
So what you're saying is they took a movie about war.
What's a TV show?
And took all the good stuff out of it.
Kinda.
It sounds like you're describing C-SPAN the movie.
You know what? It's like Revolutionary C-SPAN.
Yeah,
but seeing behind the scenes.
But
and all
I
that.
understand. That's That's like the sugar in your tea. I understand. The
I
sweet
like
low
it.
in your tea.
I'm into it.
That's very much right up Mike's alley. Mike openly admits the last movie he ever watched at the Park Twin Theater was Gods and Generals.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
well, there was
right
fighting
up
in
Mike's
that at least.
It was. There's a little bit.
A lot of it was 3 hours of just
Because I'm trying to stay on board with you on this one, man. But boy, does it sound like they took all the fun stuff out of it.
It's if you want to get a take on Ben Franklin, his personality, it's an interesting one. Put it that way.
Okay.
About Ben Franklin.
To the chat, I am fully aware that Benjamin Franklin's face was not on money until the 1900s, okay?
Someone was calling you out of
was
that.
making a joke. Yeah, I know it couldn't be like, yeah, see this? Diddy's going to shout me out someday.
But Michael Douglas as Ben Franklin, yes. When I heard it, I was like, eh. But now as I've watched the first 4 episodes, I think he's doing a good Franklin.
All right. I'd be interested to check out an episode.
Yeah. It's a good,
I guess Michael Douglas.
Yeah, he does. I think he does a good job.
I think it's just because I was raised up to remember the Ben Franklin that I remember, big old paunch belly, bespectacled.
Well, he was kind of a savage, like historically, and like I'm just thinking of Falling Down, Michael Douglas.
Oh, that version of
him.
The Ben Franklin I choose to believe is animated. He's always been animated. He'll always be animated.
Well, then if we're going that route, I choose Romancing the Stone, Brian Franklin. With him and Danny DeVito were excellent.
I like to imagine my Ben Franklin.
Well, shoot, why don't we go? What was he in Wolf of Wall Street? Was another one? No, there was another one of those movies.
I think it was just Wall Street.
Ant-Man.
Was it Wall Street?
Or was it Glengarry Glen Ross?
Oh, it's just called Wall Street.
It's Wall Street. Yeah,
I
that's
loved
the
you
one.
in Wall Street. Still one of my favorites.
Well, he's in the remake of Wall Street too. He's in.
Yeah.
Shia LaBeouf.
Of course, Fatal Attraction. We could go Fatal Attraction.
I like to imagine my Benjamin Franklin as a Basic Instinct Benjamin Franklin.
My favorite is by far Romancing the Stone.
Yeah.
The first one particularly. Second one's all right, but the first one, that was one of those early movies that when the family got HBO, it was on every day, and I've watched Romancing the Stone 1.7 million times.
See, mine's Assassin's Creed 3.
Yeah, no, I've seen it.
Where he goes on a rant about liking older women and stuff.
Oh, you need a ride? I got Pepe, my donkey. It's a Toyota pickup.
I'm trying to think of what mine would be. I guess mine would probably in that realm of like the HBO. I watched it 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Probably Fools Rush In.
Okay.
I've seen that movie at least 20 times.
Movies in that era like that I watched, like Romancing the Stone, Silverado.
Really?
You remember that movie?
I do.
You remember that movie?
Never saw it.
Do you
but
know
I
that
remember
movie?
the movie.
Oh, it's an excellent movie. Silverado is a Western.
I assumed.
And
I didn't think it was about a Chevy.
To be honest, it's an A-list of actors. Some before they were famous.
Okay.
Kevin Costner before he's famous. It's a young Kevin Costner. Wow. It's got Jeff Goldblum. It's got Danny Glover. It's got Roseanne Arquette. It's got Kevin Kline. It's got what's his name? The dad from Tommy Boy.
You're just describing your average 90s movie.
Brian Dennehy.
Brian Dennehy. He's the bad guy.
Okay.
Who else? Oh,
Kevin Kline, Scott Glenn.
Scott Glenn is the main character, yes. It's full of stars.
This is like Kevin Costner and Danny Glover.
Speaking of, and this is kind of off
And
topic,
it's a great Western, by
I
the
would
way.
be willing to check out Silverado. That sounds
It's a great Western.
Speaking of Brian Dennehy, kind of. I just heard or read a couple of days ago, Josh Gad is in the process of making a Chris Farley biopic.
I did see that online, and that's legit.
I don't know
isn't
how
it?
I
thought
feel
Ryan
about
Reynolds was making that.
Actually,
At
I
first.
heard it was Lorne Michaels.
Well, see, I would be fine with a Lorne take on it, but if Josh Gad, I don't know how I feel about
think I saw that Lorne Michaels was involved.
I mean, maybe he's involved.
Did Ryan Reynolds just pass it to Josh Gad?
I would hope he's involved with, maybe Josh Gad is in the process of working it up.
Like, speaking of Chris Farley, I've seen online a couple times, and I'm assuming it's real, but I've never checked the validity of it. There's like a picture of Chris Farley younger but I think still famous, but younger Chris Farley, with his dad.
Okay.
And his dad is big. Like
they're all
no, but
bigger.
his dad was almost like that, like 1,000-pound
like
story
morbidly obese,
big.
really?
Yeah.
My honey's a little big. My belly's a little big.
Like,
I
think our guest is here.
Yes.
I think I heard a doe.
Just one more thing I have to say.
Yeah.
This became actually I might be on board with this because they just announced who's playing Chris Farley in this biopic. Paul Walter Hauser. Remember the fat kid from Cobra, or the fat guy from Cobra Kai?
Yes, yeah. He was also he's a great actor. He's
fantastic.
He was also in the Clint Eastwood about the the Olympic bombing in Atlanta.
Oh, that's right. He was Richard Jewell.
Richard Jewell. He was also, if you've seen I, Tonya, the Tonya Harding, he's Galuli's buddy.
Okay.
When they do the knee breaking, he's the nerdy, the same character. He's in Cobra Kai and they're kind of the Richard Jewell.
I'd be willing to check it out.
He's Farley.
I might be on board. Yeah.
Wow.
We'll see what happens.
You know, that's interesting because every character he plays kind of that I'm a covert ops nerd that is an expert in things, but not really. That's not Farley.
It's not, but he also has that. If you think about his like in the second season that he was in a Cobra Kai, I think it was.
Yeah.
If you think about his performance in that, he does have that kind of over the top, like, willing to throw himself around for the joke kind of style.
Yeah.
So
that's just what I'm wondering. He's going to have to go there because Farley was the pratfall.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And he was he was that type, especially before he got famous, where he would do that to be liked.
Yeah, just for the room.
Yeah, yeah. He would, that was his way of getting accepted by the crowd, so to speak. I'll come in and make a complete fool of myself, and you're going to love me.
Exactly.
And then when the drink and the drugs can get involved, and that takes you to a dark place. But
minus that second half, I've sort of shaped most of my adult life off that first half. Come and make a fool of yourself. They'll like you after that. It's fine.
Yeah, and but the problem with that is you turn into the what I call the jukebox machine. Everyone puts a quarter in you, makes you want to go be funny. So yeah, we have the folks at the Chaves County Extension Office going to join us, give us an update on what's happening there. We'll bring them on here in just a few minutes here, but first let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. The wind will be calming down a little bit today. We have that low pressure system getting out of our area. High pressure is moving in from Arizona and also the Four Corners region. Mid-80s for the afternoon high. Wind will still be a little bit gusty, 15 to 25 miles an hour. Overnight breezy or low near 50 under clear skies, and then we're in the upper 80s and not too windy on Wednesday, sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 58 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 23%. Winds currently out of the southeast at 5 miles per hour. Sunny and a high of 83 today. Winds will be out of the west at 15 miles per hour. Tonight, clear skies, looking at an overnight low of 50. Winds out of the northwest, 5 to 15 miles per hour. For you Wednesday, sunny, 88 for a high. Winds out of the west, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Wednesday night, tomorrow night, clear skies with an overnight low of 52 degrees. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, sunny, 88 for a high, close to 90. Winds out of the northwest, 5 to 10, shifting to the southeast for Thursday afternoon. Friday, partly cloudy and 81. And then beginning Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday, there's some rain chances. A little bit cooler, too. Friday night, we're looking at a 20% chance of showers overnight, partly cloudy, and 55 for an overnight low. We're looking at a 30% chance of rain Saturday, partly cloudy, and a high of 71. 20% Saturday night, and Sunday they're just saying partly cloudy and 69, so near 70. So enjoy your near 90s Thursday because we'll be near 70 on Sunday. All right, it is 8:26. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll have the folks from the Chaves County Extension Office join us. Don't go away.
Attention Roswell and surrounding areas. What you're about to hear will totally blow your mind.
It's the grand reopening at the all-new Roswell Ford. The all-new Roswell Ford has new management and a whole new attitude.
I interrupt this commercial for more breaking news.
Attention car buyers. The all-new Roswell Ford needs your trade, and we need them now. So there's never been a better time to trade and upgrade to a new Ford or quality pre-owned car, truck, or SUV for less. Making payments on your current vehicle and you want out early? Even if your current car is rusted, busted, and can't be trusted, Roswell Ford wants to spring you out of your trade, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth. Worried about payment or interest rate? Don't sweat it. Roswell Ford has partnered with more lenders that can help with all types of credit, with rates as low as 0% for 66 months. Get pre-approved today at RoswellFord.com. Lower prices, exceptional trade-in values, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell, or visit us online at RoswellFord.com. $15.15 per thousand financed on select models with approved credit.
A comedian once said, "No one can tell me anything, not even myself." Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage.
You know, most people stop listening and start forming an answer or response when someone's talking to them within 7 seconds, so they miss most of the information.
John 10:27 says, "My sheep listen to my voice. I know them, and they follow me."
You know, when Julie and I were preparing for this, she looked right at me after I spoke for a while and said, "What?" I guess we all have work to do in listening. But you know what? Just like learning to know God takes time and focus and to know His voice, it's going to take time and focus to really get to know our spouse and to really start enjoying and loving marriage.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
Can't hear as well as you used to? That can happen to the best of us. But when you can't hear people speaking or birds chirping, it's time to take action. That's when it's time to call Howard Allman with Here on Earth Hearing Care Center. Howard has been helping people hear better for over 55 years. Howard is who helps the Artesia seniors with servicing their hearing aids of all makes with free cleaning and hearing evaluations. And he's ready to help you. Howard can share with you information on Audibel Intrigue AI hearing aids with many features you might not expect a hearing aid can do, such as using your hearing aids to stream calls, music, and more. Plus, health monitoring, count steps, even fall detection, all built in. Meet face-to-face with someone who can help you choose the right hearing aid for you. Call Howard at 575-622-0375, and he'll be glad to set up a time to meet with you. That's 575-622-0375 for Howard Allman of Here on Earth Hearing Care Center.
Are you looking for something fresh, or are you trying to find that confident smile you once had? Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher with Carabelli Dental, and I would like to invite you to our office to experience a new kind of dentistry. We have the most advanced technology and a highly trained team to provide you the best experience possible. Whether you're looking for a bright new smile or just want to make sure everything checks out for the best, call us today and set up your appointment for your next great experience.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell, or call 575-622-4455. Listen up, golfers. Grab your clubs and get ready for a fun weekend of golf for a great cause, because it's time once again for the Roswell Honda Classic Charity Golf Tournament. April 20th and 21st at the Nancy Lopez Golf Course. This 2-day, 3-person scramble begins Saturday, April 20th with a double shotgun start Saturday and Sunday, 7:30 a.m. and 1 p.m., along with a golf ball drop Sunday at 9 a.m., with prizes for first place, second place, third place, longest drive, and closest to the pin. And a new Honda HR-V driver and putter with a hole-in-one. Plus free barbecue, drinks, and beer for both days. The cost to enter is $450 per 3-person team, with a portion of the proceeds to benefit the Gonzalez Hope Center. Get more info and register online at roswellhonda.com or register in person. Get your 3-person team together and get signed up now. The Roswell Honda Classic, April 20th and 21st at the Nancy Lopez Golf Course. Sign up today.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Did you know you share your birthday with at least 9 million other people in the world? Your birthday isn't feeling so special now, is it? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:30, and joining us in the studio this morning from the Chaves County Extension Office, Tamara Schubert and Drew Garnett back with us. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
How's life at the Extension Office this morning?
Good.
Going well.
I thought you were going to be busy. I was
busy.
Well.
We figured we'd always use
Yeah, well,
and let's say it together. Busy.
I know. Yeah.
But
Well,
it is good, but it is busy.
It is
Yes.
both
yes,
of those
yes.
things.
Just feel like we've been using that word too much, so we
There you
tried
go.
not to.
Well, and just because a lot of, not everything that the extension office does, but there's a lot of parts of it that are seasonal. Obviously 4-H, there's
Yes.
certain times a year for things. Master gardeners and the ag side, you live and die by the seasons.
Oh, yeah, very much.
And of course, even with the home ec and stuff, there's certain times a year you're doing certain things, and it's it's that time of year where we focus on diabetes. It's this time of year we're focusing on this.
Yeah.
So it's as springtime is just a lot going on, and particularly with you guys because it's kind of the season of growth.
It is. It is.
In all areas.
In all areas. Yeah, I actually heard someone talking the other day, and they're like, I hate this time of year because this is all the growing. He goes, I like in the fall because everything's dying and I don't have to worry about tending to it. I'm like, all
They're
right.
less busy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's one
less
way to
busy.
look at it.
Yeah.
But all right. But that being said, you guys do have a lot going on here over the next couple weeks, a month here.
We do.
Just, from all the different facets of the extension office.
Oh, very much so. I mean, tomorrow we have our woody encroachment workshop over at our office at 9 o'clock, so 9 to noon. And there are 3 pesticide applicator CEUs, so come on down for that. If you have any land and you're wanting to know how to manage those pesky woody weeds that are showing up in the area, it really does behoove us to remove those and get rid of them. They help not just our livestock, but they help the wildlife in the area, and then also help that grass grow, which is going to have a lasting impact and a much better impact than those woody weeds will on all that dirt blowing in the air.
I would imagine, too, depending on where it's located, is on how you attack it, too.
Yes, very much so.
Sometimes you want to go scorched earth. Sometimes you got to be a little more precision with it.
Exactly.
And there's and
Yes.
of course you got to learn when to, it's like the gambler, when to hold them, when to fold them, when to walk away, and when to run.
Oh, exactly. I mean, there's definitely a science to it, and you definitely want to look at the land that you have and the carrying capacity that's there, because especially if you have a high degree sloped hill that's really rocky, maybe it's best to leave those woody weeds there because they are holding something down.
Erosion and that kind of thing,
and help keep from getting crazy erosion.
Yeah.
But in some of our flatter spots, things like that, you want to get rid of those woody encroachment weeds to really open it up for the grasses underneath.
Yeah, it's all about balance.
Yes.
There's a reason for everything. And, it's kind of like people like, well, I hate flies. And, yeah, I get it. But they do serve a purpose. And they have, you take one out, you see the ecosystem completely, get off kilter.
I know. I have to keep telling myself that, too,
So it's
that
the
they have a
balance.
purpose.
You got to do the balance. But when it comes to the weeds and stuff, and that's why doing it the right way, it's not just going in there and like you said, just go in there and just get rid of everything. That might cause more harm than good.
Yes, and then timing is so important too. When you're worried about controlling weeds and specific weeds, really knowing what weed you're going after, and then timing is everything.
Yep, you got to be, that's why they have experts. And when you have, when it comes to pest management, weed management, there's people that are experts in this. And if you just go out there and buy whatever pesticide off the shelf and start spraying it around thinking, oh, that'll get rid of it don't work that way. It's such a big balance. That's why you've got to educate yourself before you start doing that. And if you're not the one doing it, get the trained people that know what they're doing.
Yes, and we'll have those there tomorrow at our office, 9 o'clock to noon. And so if you have any land and you're struggling with mesquite or other woody encroachment, please come on down and learn how to clean up that land.
Absolutely. And of course, talk to the folks at Bitter Lake too. They spend half their day doing exactly what you're talking about, keeping the foreign stuff out and the native stuff in.
Yes, very important.
Absolutely. Speaking of that too, while we're talking gardening, that kind of stuff, give us an update on the library and stuff.
Yep.
You guys, the master gardeners.
Gardening at the library is going to be this Saturday, and we're going to be talking about vegetable gardening. So if you're looking to be a little more self-sufficient, come on down 10 o'clock at the library this Saturday.
Imagine that's going to be a popular one because I think most people.
I would think so.
Especially if you want to start a garden. I think most people lean vegetables and fruits.
I think so.
Versus
I think so.
flowers. You know?
Although, if you are looking for a little beautification and to grow some flowers, on April 27th, our master gardeners are having a plant sale.
Okay.
And so from 9 to noon on April 27th, which is a Saturday, right in front of our office at 200 East Chisholm, they'll be set up and selling plants as just a little fundraiser to help them and help them complete a lot of the projects they do around town.
And if I remember right, weren't some of them out this past Saturday out for the city's Arbor Day tree sapling event?
Yep.
So a bunch of people got free trees this weekend.
Yes.
If you're still not sure how to plant those bad boys, the master gardeners put a call in. They'd be happy to give you more information about
Very
those
much
things.
so. Very much so.
Or better yet, come out Saturday and then learn how to plant a vegetable garden. Say, hey, I picked up one of those trees over the weekend. Can you help me? Last weekend, you help me? Make sure I plant that thing right. So, because all those are designed to thrive and but
do well here.
You can't just dig a hole, drop it in, and say see you later. You do have to mitigate that and plant and nurture it. And,
plant it right.
Give it some shade, maybe.
Well, depends on the tree.
And pay attention to what kind of tree it is. If it's a 100-foot tree, maybe don't set it up 3 feet from your house. Just saying.
Yeah, it will grow eventually. So
the root system and everything. Your plumber and your electrician will very much be mad at you if you do those kinds.
Sometimes your foundation.
Sometimes you're a contractor, and look. It depends on what kind of tree and how strong them roots are. But anyway, if you do have questions, anything, don't hesitate to call the extension office and let their experts help you navigate through some of that.
Please do.
Especially, if you've got all these, great free trees, let's hope they actually get in the earth and become actual trees someday.
Yeah.
That's the idea. What about on the 4-H and home ec side? What's going on there?
What's not going on there?
Oh, gosh, right?
We've been super busy. There's that word again.
Yeah.
We have 2 Crafting for Your Mental Health programs going up, our monthly stuff. So Wednesday in Hagerman and Thursday at the Senior Circle.
I think
come
a
out
lot
and
of
join
people
us.
should come check that out. To me, sometimes when the world is just a lot going on and you need you time. And this is exactly what this is. It's working on a craft or a project that, sure, you can involve other people, but you don't have to. You be like, it's my own world, it's my own thing. I'm gonna crochet a blanket, or I'm gonna, quilt on something here, or I'm gonna do some woodworking, or whatever it is. That is how you combat the world. When the world hands you a bunch of lemons and you got to deal with that, at the end of the day, go home and do your thing and get your mental health right. And so coming and doing these things are absolutely great therapeutic things.
They can join us every month. It's the 3rd Wednesdays in Hagerman and the 3rd Thursdays at the Senior Circle.
Yeah.
We do, if they've got kiddos going to college, or even if they're a freshman in college, or if themselves want to go back to school, the extension clubs do have some scholarships.
Nice.
And those deadlines are Friday. So now's the time to get them in.
Get on the stick on that one.
Yes.
Make sure to apply for scholarships.
They're there, and that's it. A lot of times people don't realize they're not there. They're going.
And even if you don't fully qualify, apply. A lot of those scholarships have to be given out. That money has to go out. So if nobody fully qualifies, they go to the most qualified to give that funding to. So apply.
Sometimes you just got to be in the room.
Yes.
And to win. So go get in the room.
Yes.
And of course, if you're looking for a social, a way to incorporate more people or something into your life, I invite you to come and check out one of the extension clubs. There's bound to be one that kind of gravitates towards your interests, and if there isn't, maybe start one.
There you go.
And maybe find some others that have like interest as well too.
Yes.
So maybe you're into, I don't know, rock polishing or something. And like, well, I mean, all right, well, great. Now we got 3 others. We're going to start an extension club on rock polishing or something like that. But what's some of the clubs that are established now that folks can already
So
get
we
involved?
have 4 extension clubs, and I call them adult clubs, like 4-H.
Gotcha.
But they do
Adult
social.
4-H, yeah.
Yep, they do social things. They do training, and they do community service.
No
as
uniforms
well.
or nothing.
No
like that, or
uniforms.
No
Yeah.
parliamentary procedure per se.
Yeah.
Depending
so
on the club.
most of our clubs are general clubs. They have a new training or project every week or every month, so it does change.
Gotcha.
We do have a quilting club that meets on Saturdays.
Excellent. And I imagine the clubs, they're run by the people in them.
Yes.
So the direction is whatever the club wants to go into. Like you said, so this month they're working on something, but next month it's like, we decided to go with watercolors this month or something like that. So it's just a bunch of people and that they kind of want to get together. And like you said, it's social, but it's also that getting skill sets thing. And who knows, depending on the
Having
project,
fun.
you can turn into a little small side business or something
Yeah.
like that, depending on what you're doing. So I can never convince my mom. She was a huge crochet person growing up and doing that, and to the point where she was big time. Never sell them. I'm like, Mom, you could probably make a killing at a craft. She'd give them away. She'd give away as gifts, but never
It's
sell
the
a
love
blanket.
behind it.
Never seen anybody pay money for any kind of thing my mother made. Never took money. So, like I don't think she could let him go. Like she could let him go as long, but like when my mom passed, oh my gosh, she was a hoarder, and I gave away so many and people are like, why don't you want to? It's like I literally have 80,000 pounds of stuff that I can't keep any more stuff my mother had. My brother and I are both, you keep this, you keep, we gave away. Everyone in the family's got something, and it's just to the point she just made. I mean, she did everything. Like there was a time where like doll bedspreads were a thing, and she would like wear the dolls in the middle, but her dress is the bedspread, if that makes sense. She was making those, and there was like in the 90s, there was a big deal there for a minute. Now they're creepy, but back then, it was a time when Blair Witch was a thing, and they like to put the baby in the corner, kind of, But anyway, she did all that stuff. But if you love that kind of, crafts and doing those things, those are your adult 4-H, like you're saying, Tamara. It's just a great chance for you to come and make some friends and get some social circles and broaden your friends and fan base a little bit here. And of course, if you're looking at this as a money making opportunity, as far as making blankets and things, who knows? Turn it into that with your group here. And next thing you know, the next Michael's store shows up because of a group of people who were hanging out in a extension club meeting. Who knows where it could be gats from that. So good deal. But extension club, please. And just, I guess, come by the extension office if you want to learn some more about the clubs and when they meet. And if you're interested in, perhaps maybe starting your own extension club or something.
Absolutely.
Like that too. Good deal. What else we want to put out there on people's radars?
Well, livestock tagging is going to start up here again in May because the fairs are coming back around.
Oh, yeah, we're
quicker than you know.
We're about a couple months away from fair season. It's creeping up quick on us here.
I feel like we just ended that last time we talked.
Like, didn't we just do state fair like a week ago?
Yeah. But no, so it's coming up. So May 11th in Dexter at the elementary parking lot, and then May 23rd, and then June 1st will both be at the fairgrounds. So
is this and this is where I'm really naive. Is this that where they basically are registering the animals to compete in fair seasons? Like, I've got a cow or I've got a pig or something that I want to
So it's proof of ownership, but then also making sure that we're following with the brand inspectors and the livestock boards. Policies and procedures, they have to follow the same rules that our livestock producers have to. And so we make sure that they're properly identified and tagged in that regard.
Well, at the end of the day, they're a product commodity like anything else.
Yes.
And I know people don't like hearing it this way, but that's your bacon, that's your hamburger, that's it. Therefore, it has to be go through the same
standards
and scrutinization that every livestock animal has.
That's it.
Even though this is kind of a different way it's being presented in things, and it's an education format, but
Very
it's
much
still
so.
at the end of the day, that potentially someone's dinner.
It will be.
So we got to make sure it's all safe and above board, and the animal's not sick.
Oh yeah,
and
exactly.
The paperwork is all good to go, and it's a legit, healthy animal.
It is.
And the kids get to learn the whole process of that too. That's part of that.
That is part of the learning
process. That's part of learning.
Yep.
You know, it's like, oh, we're not just raising cows and sending them off. There is a before, during, and after that the kids are learning through that process. So
very much so.
It's all part of the education of how food gets to your table.
It is, and hard work and dedication to get it there.
Absolutely. So, do you is that an observable thing? Like, is there any, like, if people watch those things, is that other than people that are in it, do they really care, or is that?
You know, most of the time, no.
Yeah.
Usually, it's just the individuals that are there.
I don't know if it was like a boxing weigh-in where everyone's kind of getting hyped up and everything, or not.
Scoping out what's in whose trailer.
So I watched Roadhouse over the weekend. So now I'm already.
You know, when they do start getting weighed in at the fairgrounds, you do see a lot of people.
That's where it gets a little
weighing
more,
up the competition.
an audience.
That's for sure. Yeah.
Scoping out competition.
Yep.
Yeah, taking notes.
Mm-hmm.
The moms and dads are going to the kid. There's your competition, son. I get it.
Guaranteed.
But if they're interested, now's the time to get get all that
start
done.
getting those animals together, and then
I imagine they're talking about it in their various clubs.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and they're more on top of it there. But so let me ask, like, if a child wanted to join 4-H today, could they, in theory, show an animal, or are we for this year, or is it kind of late for this year?
So our enrollment deadline for competitive events was March 31st.
Okay, so we
do that so that they have time to learn and attend the meetings and stuff that they need to.
Now that being said, if you miss that deadline, but you want to learn, come join and watch and be a part of it, and then next year
get your feet wet, understand the system, and then next year jump in.
Yeah, see how the kids are doing it, get involved, watch, participate, maybe help some of the kids with their grooming and, as much as you're allowed to. I don't know how much rules, though, because there's multiple for the 4-H.
Yes.
So it just depends on, like them all, but if you're wanting a particular facet of the Extension Club.
Well, and if they want to stay up to date, we have an office newsletter. So visit our website. There's a link to get on our newsletter mailing list. It goes out every quarter with all kinds of information and flyers of upcoming events.
Excellent.
So.
Yeah, get the newsletter and put it on the fridge, or kind of like you go to the library and get that calendar, put it on the fridge.
Yeah.
Grab the newsletter for the extension office, put that on the fridge, and that way you as a family, can plot and plan your monthly activities.
Yes.
So good deal. Give out the phone number if anybody has any questions and all that good stuff.
Yeah, they can call us in the office. It's 575-622-3210.
Yeah, they're on Chisholm there. 200 East Chisholm, the actual address.
For the south side, the very south side of the health department.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. At least for a while.
Yes.
Yeah. How did they have a timetable on your new digs and all that?
Hopefully end of the year-ish, early spring.
Okay. Yeah, they're still early. I know there's one happening over, but I didn't know if they were at a point where, like, did they got a date for you yet? Or
No. Still going through a few of the architect stuff, and
y'all haven't like picked your spots. So that's my desk, dibs. That was the official claimant things of the 80s and 90s, dibs, and then you lick it.
Yeah. I think it still counts, Mike. I think it still counts.
That's contractual. Court of law will hold that up every time. Well, thank you. I appreciate it, guys, and try not to get too busy. And we'll see y'all next time, okay?
Thanks, Mike.
All right, it is 8:55. Let's pause for a quick commercial break before we get you in the news. Don't go away.
All across America, this is the Lou Dobbs Business Report.
I'm Lou Dobbs. Losses mounting on Wall Street. Bank earnings season goes on. Apple's legal troubles go on as well. Wall Street's abysmal second quarter continues. Losses mounting to start the week. All three major indexes finished lower yesterday. Rising Treasury yields and Middle East tension weighing on the market. Bank earnings season off to a solid start, however. Bank of America reporting today. Wall Street targeting an annual decline in revenue. Earnings per share estimated to come in more than 17% below a year ago. The stock's been on the decline. Bank of America down about 5% over the past 5 days of trading. Morgan Stanley earnings after the opening bell. The stock's trading 7% lower this year. United Health Group reports first quarter results after the opening bell. Investors looking for insight on the effect of February's data breach. United Health stock down nearly 20% so far this year. Key housing market data today. Housing starts expected to have fallen last month. Apple stock continues to slide amid ongoing court battles. The stock shed 2% yesterday, down nearly 7% this year. Please join me twice each weekday for the Lou Dobbs Business Report right here.
Business news you need to know. Keep listening for more. This is the Lou Dobbs Business Report.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code MONTHFREE by May 31st. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Need new windows for your home? Beware of the sales gangster. Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing and Windows here. A sales gangster is a window salesperson with the mobster mentality. They intimidate, bully, and fast talk you into buying their less than quality windows during a 3-hour pitch. Think I'm kidding? Call a few window companies and see for yourself. Or you can skip the sales gangsters and call Trustmark. We have fair, no-nonsense pricing on our premium windows, and our appointments take only about 60 to 75 minutes. Just long enough to listen to what you need, show you your options, answer your questions, and give you a straightforward quote. Then it's up to you. We can take a no just as easy as a yes, but I'll guarantee you this. No sales gangsters. Sound fair? Call Trustmark Roofing and Windows for your no-obligation spring window assessment. 57.
I heard that. Yes, dear. Coming, dear. Right away, dear. Of course, you're right.
Hi, this is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture, and I want to tell you about our store-wide sale happening now. All items in every department are on sale. Upgrade your living space with power reclining sofas and love seats or beautiful sectionals with charging ports. Create ambience with amazing table and floor lamps. Get that long-awaited restful night's sleep with the new Serta mattress. Every department is on sale from our existing prices. So come down to Glenn's Furniture on the corner of Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
Your home for Armed American Radio is 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
Instead of being out there on the stump or tending to his business
it's a scam. It's a political witch hunt.
The case focuses on a routine non-disclosure agreement. Mr. Trump says it was documented as a legal expense and did not come from campaign funds. House Speaker Mike Johnson looking at holding separate votes on aid for Israel, aid for Ukraine, and for Taiwan.
We laid out the plan on how to finally address the supplemental situations.
Kirby reiterates that the United States does not seek a war with Iran and does not want tensions to escalate in the region. Greg Clugston, Washington.
From New York to San Francisco to Miami, Chicago, Eugene, Oregon, anti-Israel protesters blocked busy highways and bridges all across the country yesterday. Air travel disrupted as well. Watching Wall Street, the Dow trading 44 points higher, while the Nasdaq is down 37 points, and the S&P 15 points in the red. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Biden is... Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find the fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great land travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Ferry disaster.
This morning, the mothers who lost their children that day were taken out to sea. They threw white flowers overboard into the same waters where the ferry capsized and sank. Investigators at the time found that the boat had undergone unsafe renovations and had been dangerously overloaded. As it sank, the schoolchildren were told to stay in their cabins while the captain and the crew escaped. The captain was sent to prison for life. But it's clear today that for some of the families, their wounds and anger are still raw.
The BBC's Jean McKenzie. 6 people dead after a boat carrying a group of people capsized in a river in Indian-controlled Kashmir. Officials say the boat was carrying 15 people, most of the passengers youngsters. Rescuers are searching for at least 3 people who are still missing. 6 others have been rescued. News and analysis at townhall.com. The Supreme Court letting an Idaho transgender statute take effect for now.
The Supreme Court is allowing Idaho to enforce its ban on transgender treatments to minors while lawsuits over the law proceed, reversing lower courts. The justice's order Monday allows the state to put in place a 2023 law that subjects physicians to up to 10 years in prison if they provide hormones, puberty blockers, or sex change surgery to people under age 18. Reporting.
Salvage crews at the site of Baltimore's collapsed Francis Scott Key Bridge are using the largest crane on the eastern seaboard to remove sections of the wreckage and deposit them at a nearby processing yard. Over 1,000 tons of steel have been removed from the waterway so far as authorities work toward the goal of opening a temporary channel later this month that would allow more commercial traffic to resume through Baltimore's port. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travelation, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to our number
Crazy Funeral
of Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Happy.
Hope your Tuesday is happy.
Yeah.
It is. Hope it's going well. It's not Monday.
Not yet, or not anymore. It's Monday's slightly younger, hotter sister.
Yeah. So enjoy it. Weather's gonna be nice. 80s. Good day to maybe grab a lunch, go out on the courthouse lawn, and have a sandwich.
Indirect sunlight, not in direct sunlight, but find indirect sunlight.
Yeah.
Find a nice shade spot.
Yeah. Well,
I actually yesterday I was trying to at lunchtime trying to angle my car in a way that because I couldn't find shade, but I figured if I angled my car at the right direction, the sun would hit all the parts that aren't me, and I'll be in the shade, so it's fine.
Did that work?
It did.
Good.
And I ate my sandwich and it was good. Worked out quite nice.
But weather, I think will be very popular for outdoor eating.
Yeah.
Today.
Good day for a frolic.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. You know, that reminds me, and that's a bougie thing to do. And I know a lot of people that have it, but I don't know anybody that actually use it.
Okay.
It is the picnic kit.
The basket with the
you know, like I feel like every couple just about has one because they got it as a wedding gift or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But in all fairness, you're like, oh, what a great, we'll use it all the time. And you never ever use it.
Because let's really put it into perspective.
Yeah.
We're going to make some food.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to put that food into a bag or a package or something.
Yeah.
We'll put that into a basket. We're going to go to a place, a field somewhere. We're going to throw a blanket down. Then we're going to take the food out that we made earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And then and only then do we get to eat the food.
Mm-hmm.
That's way too long between my prep and me eating what I made.
Well, and
that dog won't hunt.
I just think we live in a world where, you know, with DoorDash and everything else, I just like I think it was going out of fashion when I was a kid. You know, when the advent of a guy can get a pizza to you 30 minutes or less came out. I feel like that killed the picnic industry.
I would say the picnic industry as like a tradition.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I grew up, and I don't know that any place here locally does this, but there was a restaurant where I grew up called Brahms.
Yeah.
And Brahms was famous for this thing called the bag of burgers. For like $6, you can get 5 of their, good sized burgers.
Yeah.
So you go and you get, the bag of burgers, and that was, we go to the park and, we eat and play, and that's the modern picnic.
Yeah. And plus, I think more people would pack for road trips, whereas now they don't. Like, I think most people, and I'm going to say, granted, there's probably less places to eat on the interstate.
True.
Less businesses, so there was more rest stops where there were just picnic tables and a porta potty or something, or a visitor center with cans.
And let's face it, if you've ever been to a rest stop picnic table, you're not going to want to eat there.
But I remember back in the day doing it. Like, I remember as a kid doing it. I don't remember
going to rest stops though.
Yes.
Like, this is what always throws me.
Like, I remember, like, we'd go do the New York thing and all that. But yeah, my parents, we'd stop at a rest stop sometimes. And this is, I'm granted, when we were probably low on money and couldn't afford to take a family of 4 to eat it at like LB Stuckey's every single time. But we can pack some sandwiches and stop at the rest area and let the kid, and we as kids, you're like, you give us chips, let us get a soda out of the soda machine, and we're happy.
That was. I will say there were more stops at rest stops when I was a kid, but a lot of that was because it was just we were traveling. That being said, it also touches on something I've talked about on this show before.
Yeah,
that I have whole memories like that. I hate of my dad saying we're just going to go to the store, get the stuff to make sandwiches, and then we'll go to the park.
Yeah, that's the problem is you got the vacation thing where the dog pees on the sandwich.
It's the epitome of a picnic is we'll go to the store and get the stuff to make sandwiches. But I hated that as a kid.
Yeah.
Like McDonald's is right there. Stuff to make sandwiches.
It
totally makes sense from a
from the
dad
adult
perspective.
brain, from the kid brain, it sucks.
Yeah,
but from the adult brain, it's a means to an end, and it works.
I've had to actively fight that option where it's like, well, I guess we could go to the store. No, we're not going to the store to get stuff to make sandwiches. I'm not doing that.
But I would even also think because of you with your children, you have one child. Let's face it. There's like 6 things on the planet your kid eats, and then the rest is like a fight.
Yeah. Yep.
So I imagine for someone like you, it's just easier to have one of the 6 things that she eats available.
Yeah.
And you don't have to fight that.
In general, yeah. If you have like some Cheetos, maybe. What's crazy is the things that my daughter chooses to like. Like she loves Funyuns. Like of all the flavors, it's just of all the flavors you would choose to like, she likes onion flavored snacks. Like she even likes the wavy Lays with the Funyuns like flavoring.
You need to shoot. Have you introduced this girl to French onion dip yet?
She's I think she had it once when she was really little.
Oh.
There's a lot of things she's missing out on.
Like, okay, this is, and we got to get talking, get to do our show here, but like many people, my wife included, are the chips and salsa people. People that you go to a restaurant and they will inhale the entire bowl of salsa and 2/3 of the chips. And it would have been all the chips, but they ran out of salsa.
Right.
My wife's one of those people. I am like that with regular old potato chips and French onion dip. You give me that combo, and I will do what most people do with chips and salsa around here.
Just destroy it. Yeah, potato chips, though, they have a real, like, a finite... I can only eat a few because It bugs me how much they...
Yes, until you add the French Hollandaise dip.
Fair enough.
And then
they stick to dental work, but tortilla chips don't have that same effect. They tend to break
That's
away.
true.
And
Potato chips get up in the... But to me, that's half the fun. Because now you're done eating. Now you get picking season.
And now we've reached picking season, everybody.
So you get to spend the next 30 minutes roofing your tongue around your mouth, trying to weed out those potato chip crumbs out of the crevices of your teeth.
I don't spend enough of my adult life extolling the joys of picking season, honestly.
It's Class A. All right, on that note.
Mike really is a fan of nooks and crannies in all their various forms, whether it's the McMuffin or just, tooth crevices.
That's right. Why do you think guys have big beards? It's for saving.
You've seen Trading Places. You know how it works.
That's right. It's like, oh, look, some leftovers.
A whole salmon you had in there?
That's right. Was that M&M?
It was a peanut.
That's like a whole chicken nugget. You never know. Depends on how thick the beard is. Lauren is patiently waiting for us here from the Roswell Refuge, talking about that 70s dance, which is coming up April 27th at American Legion Post 28's facility there on Montana. We'll talk more about that with Lauren here in just a bit. But first, let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. The wind will be calming down a little bit today. We have that low pressure system getting out of our area. High pressure is moving in from Arizona and also the Four Corners region. Mid-80s for the afternoon high. Wind will still be a little bit gusty, 15 to 25 miles an hour. Overnight, breezy or low near 50 under clear skies, and then we're in the upper 80s and not too windy on Wednesday, sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. And currently, 63 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at, what is that? I can't read. Humidity's at 18%, sorry, with winds out of the south at 12 miles per hour. Sunny today. Looking at a high of 83 with west winds at around 15 miles per hour. Clear tonight. Expect an overnight low of 50 degrees. Northwest winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. For you Wednesday, sunny, 88 for a high. Pushing 90. West winds 5 to 10. Clear skies Wednesday night with an overnight low of 52 degrees. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, sunny, once again a high of 88, west winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, partly cloudy and 81 for a high. And then it cools down for the weekend. There is some rain chances, too. A 20% chance of rain Friday night. Partly cloudy, overnight low of 55. We are looking at a 30% chance of rain for Saturday. Otherwise, partly cloudy, 71 for a high, so a little cooler. 30% chance of rain for Saturday night as well. And then could see a slight chance. They're talking 20% chance of rain Sunday. Partly cloudy, 69 for a high there. So warmer and then cooling down for the weekend here with some slight rain chances thrown in. All right, it is 9:16. We're going to take a quick 2-minute break, and then Lauren with the Roswell Refuge will join us here on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward & Son Insurance Agency. Auto and home, life and health, personal and commercial. Bonds too, since 1925. We have the coverage for you. Innovation, service, integrity, and knowledge. J.S. Ward & Son Insurance Agency.
Who doesn't think the dentist is a big deal? I know what you're thinking. What will they find? How much will it hurt? What are my options? Hi, this is Dr. Sarah Usher, and I am here to tell you that here at Carabelli Dental, it is our job to put you at ease. With options like sedation dentistry, you can rest assured that regardless of what dental work you might need, you can get it done while resting comfortably. Call our office now and speak to our knowledgeable staff about setting up your new patient appointment.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental or call 575-622-4455. The Roswell Symphony Orchestra proudly presents Pines of Rome, Saturday, April 27th, 7:30 p.m. at Pearson Auditorium in Roswell, featuring guest soloist Ariel Horowitz. You're invited to the pre-concert event at 6 p.m. at the Daniels Leadership Center, featuring special guest Dr. Jim Shearer. Tickets and more information at roswellsymphony.org or call 575-623-5882. Sponsored by Sarah and Robert Armstrong, New Mexico Arts, Pioneer Bank, Pepsi, and KOBR TV8. Ad paid for by Roswell Lodgers Tax.
Bob Reed Pest Control protects you and your home by controlling pests that invade. Bob Reed Pest Control understands the importance of safety in and around your home from unwanted pests. Protect your family's most important investment, your home, and protect your children and pets from the dangers of poisonous bugs and insects. Call Bob Reed Pest Control today and let our fully licensed pest control professionals start working for you and your family. Find us fast in names and numbers. Call 623-5344, serving all of Southeast New Mexico.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. There are 293 ways to make change for $1. Try all 293 on the guy who keeps borrowing money from you. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 18 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Roswell Refuge, Lauren Dickinson back with us. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Anytime. How's life at the Refuge this morning?
Life is good at the Refuge. We've been busy.
Yeah, of course, for folks not familiar, the Roswell Refuge is a nonprofit organization. It is home for our victims of domestic violence. If a victim needs help to separate from their situation, the folks at the Roswell Refuge are the ones they come to and help them get their lives put back together and separate from that situation. And on top of that, they also help even the offenders and things. They've got programs for that.
We do.
Through their SANE program, Victims of Sexual Assault. They also partner with them to help if people are victims of rape or other sexual assault. If they help them physically, emotionally, and all that, but
yes, and get those important exams.
Yeah,
done.
but if they do need to collect evidence for criminal prosecution stuff, they also help navigate through that too.
We house Kim Hansen, and she is wonderful.
Yeah,
she's also the provider at FHL, and they are wonderful.
Yeah, so this is really what the Refuge does. They go and help. And so that being said, we want to invite you out here on April 27th to don your best 70s attire. And get ready to come eat a bunch of food and dance and have a good time and just let your hair down a little bit for a night.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We have a 50-50 raffle. We have some really big silent auction items.
Good deal.
It should be a lot of fun.
Yeah. And I know you guys have been doing this for, I don't know, at least half dozen years now. I know it's been a while.
I want to say 7.
Yeah, that sounds about
years,
right.
6
Something.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's their annual. Oh, 6th annual. I'm looking at the flyer.
There we go. I sent
Read
the
your
info
notes,
for
Mike.
for the flyer. Carrie Moore, she is so gracious to help us with that.
Awesome.
Every year. So big shout out to her at Bewitches.
Excellent. Yeah.
Which is an awesome,
awesome
stop
go
for
get,
food.
Go.
Yes.
I would give you a suggestion, but to be honest, just pick
It's all good.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
And to be honest, one day I'm in the mood for one thing and something, so just pick anyone you want.
And my husband surprised me a couple years ago, and he's like, "Which drink do you want?" I was like, "I don't care. Both of them have edible sparkles."
Yeah.
And, I'm like, "Oh, something shiny."
And I, because of me and I don't drink sweet drinks so much,
Okay.
so I avoid the teas and everything. But yeah, they have a great selection
They're
of
so
teas
fun.
and drinks and things.
Yeah.
I just usually get tea flavored tea.
My son was holding it up to the light in the sun outside to see all the shimmer.
Yeah,
so very fun.
She has a lot of fun with that. Does a
She
great
is
job.
really
and a
great
big
to
supporter
us.
of many things in our community.
So huge shout out to Carrie.
Absolutely. So, but it is the 6th annual That 70s Dance, and it's happening April the 27th, and you are having it at the American Legion Post 28's facility on Montana.
We are
1620 North Montana.
Yes.
It's not hard to find. If you get on Montana, there's basically 2 buildings in that area. One's
right past the noon.
one's the Joyce Center. The other is the American Legion Post facility out there.
Yeah, I can't miss it.
Yeah.
We're very excited. It should be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We did it country themed, Gone Country last year.
Okay.
So we're back to the 70s.
The 70s.
You want to see your
and
grooviest attire.
get your bell bottoms or your big colored.
Joe Inferno is going to be our DJ.
Okay.
And we've had some really nice sponsorships. Pioneer Bank.
Big thank you to them.
Eastern New Mexico Medical Center and FHL Pediatrics.
Excellent. And then, of course, all the proceeds from this go to the Roswell Refuge.
They
and
go
helping
right back into helping our victims at shelter.
Absolutely. And, of course, if you want to learn more about what the refuge does and all that, please come to the event. They'll be happy to talk to you more about.
COVID really, of course, every 501c3, I think, in town or other entities they have felt that, brutalness from COVID and not being able to fundraise.
Yeah.
So we're back at it. And I think everyone's feeling that.
Absolutely.
So the Roswell community, give us some of your patience because you're going to see a lot of people doing it.
Because of the nature of the work of what the refuge does too, there's always a modicum of privacy for the people involved in things. So we love when the community wants to get involved and help.
Yes.
And we encourage it. Mm-hmm. But please remember, because of the nature of what the refuge does, sometimes they're not, they're not in the public eye on some of
we
the
have
stuff.
to shy away from
some So if you want to work at the refuge, maybe back to remodeling rooms and the things that we were doing pre-COVID, we can start doing that stuff again. But please remember too, there will be some parameters on that for the for the comfort and privacy and safety of the people that currently call the refuge home right now.
Yeah.
So, but always looking for that involvement. I know every time we talk to folks from the refuge, we always want to remind folks, if you'd like to make donations to the refuge in the form of monetary, or if you'd like to donate everyday stuff, things like toiletries and family size, shampoos, conditioners,
soaps.
Those
are so helpful because even if they have a little bit, so when she puts on that hat for the thrift store, we hate turning people away, but
it's only so much space.
Yes.
And yes, you can.
And I think everybody was kind of stockpiling all this stuff that they were going to give away during COVID. So it's like, okay, now
the floodgates open. And we do appreciate it, but logistically we can't handle it all at once. And
you can't imagine the amount of donations that also show up on the side of our building.
Yeah.
And then, unfortunately the homeless pick through it and it just kind of becomes a mess.
Like other organizations, when you want to make a donation, please call ahead, especially if it's something larger.
Or just come in our front office and we'll be more than willing to open the door for you.
Especially, even if you have furniture and things, they'd love to, but certain times they can't take that.
Yeah. And we have no way of picking it up.
Exactly. And that's and the Roswell Refuge, if you're not familiar, also has a thrift store.
Yes.
It is a fundraiser for the refuge, so people can come, the public can come in and get deep discounts on stuff there.
There's some
However,
awesome things.
it also serves for the folks that are calling the refuge home when they are ready to transition out of the home and into their life again.
Yeah.
They take the bedding and things, but they also get to kind of do shopping sprees through the refuge and sometimes some of the other thrift stores as well too. So if they need like a microwave or a coffee pot or
even
plates,
during their stay at shelter, if they need a couple outfits, they
can come in there and take what they need. And so it priority wise, it serves the residents of the refuge.
Yes.
But it also is a income generator for the refuge. And again, all that money goes back into the programs at the refuge. So if you'd like to donate items to that, or if you want to donate items to the thrift store, but as far as day-to-day need stuff, things like the toiletries, the bedding, the towels, that's stuff that's constantly in need because whenever someone moves on, they take that with
Sheets,
them. So
blankets,
so that's
like
theirs
that.
to keep.
Yes.
It's part of it. So it's constantly
Helps
needs to be
them
replenished.
build their new.
And we can appreciate the travel size stuff, but it's not as useful for us.
Yeah.
A lot of times if you donate that, they'll keep it around and sometimes give it to the homeless or some of the other organizations that could use it better. But in terms for what's best for the refuge, the family size shampoo bottles and soaps and all that stuff are more beneficial than your travel size stuff. Now, if that's what you got and you have a big bunch of it and say, hey, please bring it. We will find use for it. Thank you. But if you're shopping specifically for the refuge, go ahead and get the big family size stuff. It's more beneficial.
And you guys can always call our office is 624-3222.
Yeah.
That's our admin office with any questions.
And food-wise, too, call ahead if you'd like to make donations. Or a lot of awesome restaurants have called and said, hey, we're closed for the night. We got leftover pizzas and things. Can you all use them?
Have.
thank you for keep doing and keep checking in and keep doing that because it is. That's the difference sometimes between success and failure for some of these folks. A lot of, and then we talk about this a lot, where a lot of the victims coming into the home, they're not the most trusting of sort because of the world they've come from.
Absolutely.
They built walls. Their lack of trust in others is their defense for themselves.
Yeah, and having that, their own control stripped away from them, you want to give them some of that back.
So by you, out of the kindness of your heart, giving strangers food and toiletries, it kind of blows them away. It's like, why are you helping me? It's hard for them to understand. And to be honest, it's what cracks down and chips away at that armor and lets them be human again. Yeah. If that makes sense. So trust me.
All healing. It's
you coming and donating 1/2 bottles of shampoo to the refuge is way bigger than you think it is.
Yes.
So please consider that when you do that. And food-wise too, call ahead on that because there's certain things they can and can't take.
Yeah.
And I do know this. They're not, like, the refuge's not allowed to buy, like, use the money. Like, they can use, like, money that's not earmarked for certain things, but when it comes to support for the refuge, there's certain products and things they're not allowed to buy. And usually one of them is, like, pre-made cookies and candies and things that are great for the soul and the kids and everything.
Feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you like to even donate, like, the fun-sized packs of candy or cookies or, from the bakery or things like that.
They would love that.
Yeah, they would love that. They can accept as donations. They can't go buy it for them.
Yeah, they would love that.
And sometimes especially if the family's coming in, there's kids in tow, and they're already nervous and kind of.
Of course, around the holidays especially.
Hand them a big thing of M&Ms or Reese's or something that chips away at that scariness and makes it a little bit more home-like for them. Because that's all we're trying to do is create as close to a home environment for these families that are calling it home, whether they're there for a week or a month or whatever it is. We want it to make sure that they're in a safe, positive place so they can rebuild and reestablish their lives.
Yeah.
So that's what it's all about. So you buying Snickers and doing that is a very big help. Or when you go to the Walmart or Target and pick up the gift cards and drop them off, that's a huge asset.
Yeah, they go right back into just helping those individuals and making them feel better.
Yeah, and services too. Yeah. We get some like some of our beauty salons and fashion outlets and things. They offer their services free for many of the families in the home there.
And that feels good, right? A new haircut or
you don't realize it you're taking people that really are not living in society the way you and I have been because of the world that they've lived in.
Yes.
And so you're reintroducing them why life is good and why people are good.
Almost reteaching.
Yeah, and so you're reprogramming people that have been programmed to survive in their own way possible. Yeah, and so you got to unprogram.
And sometimes that doesn't look too good.
Yeah. Well, it's no different. This is no different than like when the military and there's POWs and all that stuff. They've got to get them
break you down to build you back up.
Domestic violence victims are very much dealing with the same type of stuff.
Yes, they are.
So if you got it in your heart, come get a $40 ticket. Come dressed in your bell bottoms and corduroys and paisley shirts or polyester suits or it seems like guys' fashions were more ridiculous in the 70s than girls. I mean, the girls had some dresses.
For me.
Yes, the colors. Gosh. But as far as the fits and everything, that kind of guys, it's a fit. It's that tight in the middle and big in the bottom. You know, it's kind of and the collars go. And the non-breathable materials of the 70s.
Yeah.
They were so into spacey things.
Yeah.
We were so much into Tang.
Yeah. And then the introduction into the 80s. It was just
Yeah, we went
colors.
Well, we went from the 70s and your oranges and avocados and your browns and that to neon yellow, neon green, neon orange.
My friend yesterday and I were sitting in our office and we were looking at the couches from the 70s. We're like, oh my God, these are so ugly. Well, but it's just the times.
Well, and most of them had a pattern of some kind, either like a forest,
wood inlay,
or a water wheelhouse or something. Yeah, so much wood inlays.
But I'm sure my kids are gonna grow up and do the same thing God, Mom.
Yeah.
This is ugly.
Well, yeah. Well,
You know, that's just part of it.
Well, it already happens even with 90s stuff.
Yes.
Like, you look, you're like, oh, that's very 90s.
Yes,
Look
you
at
walk
that
through
thing.
Walmart and you're like, okay, childhood. I had that jumpsuit or that T-shirt. You know?
But the weird part is all that fashion's reciprocal.
Yeah,
You know?
it's okay.
And to be
it all
honest,
comes around.
I remember there was a time in the late 80s, right around my junior, senior years of high school, late 80s, early 90s, where some of the 70s was coming back again. Like, there was a hot minute where people were wearing bell bottoms and things. Now, they were more 80s designed. Like, they were the 70s shape, but with the 80s, like,
Color
stuff put
patch,
in rips and all, you know, kind of like the 80s version of the
grunge,
70s. Yeah, that grunge 70s kind of thing. So, yeah, it all was. So, even now, there's elements like I'll watch kids today. I'm like, man, they look like out of an episode of Friends. What's going on over here?
Yes.
Is that making a comeback? Can I wear that shirt again?
My son came home. He goes to Washington Avenue, and he's 7, and he had to dress like the 90s. And I was like, okay, 90s grunge it is.
That's right. Put on Friends and dress like one of the characters from Friends, and then you're good to go.
It's fine. So funny.
But in this case, 70s duds. Get out, so get your platform shoes and your And
if that's got a Western twist from last year, hey, we're not mad at it.
Well, I could say
70s.
70s. Like, you could do, and this is early 80s, but also falls in the 70s. Think of Sylvester Stallone Rhinestone.
Oh, okay.
That kind of where he had the Slug Trail shirts and the uber tight jeans, and that's 70s too, country tie. 70s. Yeah. Maybe a bolo of some kind.
Fabulous.
And a jacket that's equally as ugly as the shirt. Perhaps with tassels or something on it.
The leather gloves that match. Man, I gotta figure out what I'm wearing now. How funny.
I mean, we all lock ourselves into 70s disco funk, but
right? I was thinking the afro,
there could
blonde
be,
afro. That would be fun.
Know, I think we could go a different direction with this.
We definitely could.
You could easily go like that 70s country, and Waylon Jennings type.
Yeah, love it. We love to see everyone come out and participate.
Absolutely,
great. And it's for a great cause.
Absolutely,
it's gonna be a fun night.
All the money and proceeds go back
dancing,
to the refuge
food,
in the same
cash
program.
Bar. Yeah.
Oh, it's Mexican food is the theme. So I guess like enchiladas and.
I think Kay and another board member of ours is doing green chili and red chili pork with rice and beans and chips and salsa.
All right. So if you leave hungry, kind of your own fault.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Definitely.
But yeah, come and of course, like you said, DJ Inferno is going to be on the 1s and 2s doing the music.
Yeah.
I'm guessing he's going to keep it a lot of 70s theme music because it is a 70s theme dance. But
there
I
should
get
be
it.
a good mix.
I bet he'll take a request or two of something that falls out of the 1970s genre here. If you want to hear something that's more from your time,
right? Not the Bee Gees.
But I would guess too, because it is the 70s, we got to do some of the 70s dances, and so I imagine there'll be a few people there to teach you like the hustle or some of the.
Yes, and we're gonna have a dance contest.
Nice, to get your best 70s dance on, and of course, it looks better when you're in actual 70s attire doing it.
Yes.
So if you're going to be doing the hustle or doing the hand jive or some of these things, then you need to be in your bell bottoms or your polyester suit or your dress that's got 30 colors or whatever it is, something avocado and orange.
Yeah, the Farrah Fawcett shorts and the tennies.
That's right.
We're gonna have
I just want appliances from the 70s.
Right.
Like the kitchen,
so
like the Brady Bunch kitchen with those oranges and the browns,
Yes.
and that was a highfalutin one at the time.
Yes,
but
it was.
I kind of like that look.
Yeah.
I would go back to that if I could get away with
Different colors, but yeah.
Although, like the browns,
Yeah.
I don't think I could do it. I think it's solid like that.
I'm like, oh boy,
With the brick,
with the metal caps for the countertop.
Yeah, there's a certain nostalgia feeling to that. I could lay off with the greens and some of the
avocado. I can't.
Yeah,
do.
like some of the dining furniture looks a little. I want more modern there, but like the counters with the orange and the I'm kind of down with that.
This is why we have choices, Mike.
Right. But in my head, I want that Brady, like how they had that great barbecue thing with the brick and all that, like that with the orange. I'm like, I'm looking and I'm liking it. I'm like, that's
and those fridges and stoves. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah. And by the way, they
lasted
probably
forever.
work 10 times better
Yes.
because they're old school Freon, and
Yeah.
they'll
Yeah.
they'll keep that one
Get
bottle
inside it in case there's an atomic bomb hitting.
Probably got 8 pounds of frost inside of it. You got to do that. You
Special license for
get
the
to the point you
Freon.
only fit like 1 pint of ice cream in there because there's so much frost in there.
Yeah, and you gotta let it melt once a month.
Yeah, I
How
remember
funny.
chipping. But again, come if that was nostalgia for you, come on out.
Yes.
April 27th. Best way to get tickets? Can they just come to the refuge office and
They
get
can.
them?
They can come in person. They
Okay.
can visit our website. We have a brown paper ticket link.
Okay.
That's on our Facebook.
Okay.
So
So
whatever
if you
you'd
just
like
look
to
for
do.
Roswell Refuge on Facebook, you'll find the link for the flyer and then the link to order tickets there.
Yeah, there's
Or if you-
sponsorships available too.
Oh, we still got time
Yeah.
if you'd like to sponsor
Absolutely.
to probably get a table or there's
Yeah, a
different perks for
table.
different levels
Yeah.
of sponsorship
Because we
there.
plan on, talking about our sponsorships even after our event.
Yeah, and we
So-
thank your Pioneer Banks
Yes.
and these
Yeah,
these organizations
Eastern
that
Mexican
go.
Medical Center.
And of course, and the month of April being Sexual Violence Assault Awareness Month,
Mhm.
sexual assault. I think I messed
Awareness
that up.
Month,
Yes,
yeah.
thank you. And so and that's why you remember, please. This have fun and all this, but please also remember if you see things that don't look right, report
out.
it.
Yeah.
Speak out. Talk to somebody.
You could save a
do
life,
something.
even if you think it's not your business. And I
Absolutely.
think we're in that mode in this time frame of,
Yeah.
oh, it's not my business.
Yeah.
Well, you know
It's
what?
not-
Some things need to be your business.
Yeah,
speak
especially where we live in a world where things like sex trafficking and stuff
Yeah.
seems to be much more commonplace.
is.
I'm not saying there's more or less of it than there used to be because I think
we're
it was.
talking about it more.
But I think
It's
it's
in the
more
news more
out of
prevalent.
the shadows than
Yes.
it was 20, 30 years ago.
Absolutely.
And so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
We need to expose that. We need to
We need
deal
to talk
with it.
about it.
And and that's why it's so important that because I'd love it to get to a point where places like the refuge aren't needed.
Yes,
because,
I would love to be out of a job.
because we got a grip on this.
Yes.
That's a
Because
pipe
domestic
dream.
violence was eradicated,
Yeah.
I
But
don't see
that's
that
what
yet.
the refuge does every day, and they're going in there helping victims, helping abusers too, because
Yes.
we talk about domestic violence
It's
and
cyclic,
it's a
yes.
it's a cycle.
Yes.
Odds are very good that abusers
Learned it.
were victims themselves growing
Yes.
up. Whether it's a learned behavior.
Yeah.
And I'm not justifying or
No,
excusing.
but we want to help both sides.
But if all you know is what you know,
Yeah.
and then someone tells you it's wrong, and you want to change it,
Yeah.
why donated services and
Yeah.
things? So you'll have to come and see
Check
for
it
see
out.
yourself and bid early,
Yeah.
bid often.
Yes.
Keep checking back, so you shake your leg and then go back to over
And we'll
there.
have
to
a
look.
buyout thing too. So
They
yes.
love the back and forth.
Yes.
You and I are probably like, no, I just want to win.
No, I just
Yeah, I just want
need it now.
What is it? That's what I want.
And
I'll
if they
take it.
could
Thank
send it or deliver it like in the next
Yeah.
hour, that'd be great.
You mean you have a chance of getting it too? I don't think so. No, just give
not
it to me
today.
now. Yeah, we're not playing that game.
Yes.
I'll let you look at it. I'm the same way.
So alike. That's so funny.
Yeah. But again, April 27th, 6:30 to about 11:30 p.m. Again, it's at American Legion facility there, 1620 North Montana. Come dressed in your best 70s fashion. Now, if you don't own any and you just want to come, don't let that stop you.
Yeah,
but get in the spirit if you want to,
Yeah.
Plus, even if
You
you're
might have something in your closet that you could put together.
some people, depending on how old you are, might just be old clothes. Yeah. they're not a costume per se. You're like, that's just my jeans from
I had to ask my mom when we first started this. I was like, what do I wear? She
Yeah.
goes, oh, gosh.
Hey, some of you got your like wedding suits, or or if you're a
and
bridesmaid.
It's in the avocado
Oh
or
yeah,
brown. Or,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're never gonna wear that again.
Yeah.
And if you just so happen
You
to
could
fit
dye
into
it. You could go get some Rit dye and
saying I'd
dye
love
it.
to see a couple guys in those powder blue or avocado green or that
Yes.
salmon colored tux. Yeah.
Yes, I'm getting Dumb and Dumber vibes now.
Yes, exactly.
This is great.
That would be good.
Yeah.
So, but again,
And the funky shoes and the
Exactly.
funky handbags, the
Exactly.
woven ones.
yeah.
How
And
fun.
and look, fellas, 70s were a hairier time. If
Yes.
you want to show off your little nest with the
Yes.
fro and all that and the button down,
Yes.
you can all be Tom Selleck on that day.
Yes. The mustache is iconic, but
That's right. But tickets are only $40 per
welcome.
person.
Yes.
You can get table sponsorships available too. Just call or come by the refuge and ask about that too. Phone number to call is 575-624-4643. 3222.
Yes.
Is that the main office to the
that's
refuge?
our admin office.
That's not the emergency hotline.
No,
That's
that
if you got
is the-
questions about anything refuge
Yes, you
related
need
that's
help with a
non-emergency.
restraining order
Or if you want to buy tickets to that
Yes,
70s
if you wanna
dance,
buy
or if you want to
tickets.
donate an item to the thrift store and you want to call ahead and ask,
Call us.
that's that
That's
number.
the number.
Or you can always come by there on the corner of what is it, Atkinson and what's where the office is?
College and oh my gosh,
Yeah, don't ask me the roads
my
there. I know
brain
it's right
just
there.
Went blank. College in Montana.
Go to
That's
college.
our shelter.
Yeah, if you're
Yeah.
going north on Main,
1306
go
was
to college.
Yeah.
Turn right like you're heading eastbound, and then
Yeah.
when you get to the corner of which one was it again?
College in Montana.
Montana. When you get to that, then you'll see it right there on the corner. So just go down College. You see it on the corner. It'll be actually on your left side on that caddy corner if
Yeah.
you're coming off.
We're
of
like
Main.
we can envision it.
Exactly.
Right across
yeah.
the street
I
from
know
the
where it's at.
Aquatic
I just
Center.
don't know the names of things, and I'm like, yeah, I know right where it's at. I just
Mine
don't know
went
the name of
blank.
it. So, but yes, you can get tickets there, and of course, if you have any questions about anything else we were talking about here too. And of course, if you are in need of help, do you know? Do you have the hotline on?
I do.
Okay.
It's 575
yes.
627 8361.
That is a 24/7, 365 day a year their hotline. It is monitored by, I believe, people not in the area. They're even not, so basically it's anonymous.
Yeah.
So you don't, and it is a hotline for you to call as a victim, as someone who thinks something's going on and don't know what to do, or you suspect something and not sure.
We can
that,
help you.
That hotline is there. Yeah. Please also know when you call it, you are in the driver's seat.
Yes.
Everything that's going to happen next is totally up to you. If you just want to call that phone number and talk, vent, and then hang up, it's there for you to do that.
Yeah.
If you want to do something more than that, or if you're not ready and talk and maybe just want to, start the process.
See if we have rooms available.
Exactly.
Something like that.
That there's someone there that will be able to navigate and help you through it. If you are dealing with a medical crisis or a physical, 911's your first thing.
Yes, 911 is the way to go.
If you're trying to break out of a situation and not sure what to do, or if you suspect something's going on and not sure what your choices are.
What you should do,
reach out, call that number. Again, give that number out one more time.
575-627-8361.
And keep that handy. Write it down. Keep it in your phone or whatever.
Yeah.
Keep it on. Keep it in your directory there. Hope you never need it, but it'd be nice there if you do see something, or if you see something going on and you want to report it.
Not sure what to do.
Yeah, and again, it's all anonymous. Everything is you're in charge as the caller.
Confidential.
Whatever happens next is you're in control of that. If you're ready to break away right this moment, someone will be like, "All right, let's do this."
Yeah.
If you're just wanting to say, "What's going on here?" They'll talk to you.
Is this
about
normal?
That.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And please be an abusers too. If you're thinking you're doing this stuff and you're thinking, "Man, I
need to knock it off. I need some help."
Someone's there to
Call
help
us.
you.
They'll get a hold of me.
Yeah. The point of this is to end domestic violence.
Yes.
And
both sides.
And you got to get and we understand that the abusers today were probably victims yesterday. That's probably what it is.
Yeah.
And so we gotta end this. So your kids aren't the next victims and abusers. Yeah. That's the whole point.
We don't want to perpetuate that cycle.
We're breaking the cycle.
Yes, we are.
And so come out, refuge. Whereas that 70s dance, that money, and when you donate to the refuge and all the different ways you do it that way, that money is not earmarked specifically saying it's got to buy. Renovating or remodeling the facility, updating,
Even
now that
individuals that might be a plumber or electrician and want to donate some time.
That'd be so great. People donate like tile work and things that are needed in there. But even if, say, your organization or a group of people want to maybe do a HGTV room remodel or something like that.
Open to it.
Maybe you're a fan of all those shows and no one's letting you do that to your house anymore.
Come do it to a room.
Come to the refuge and get together and do it as a nonprofit and use your resources to get tapped into the things and let's go and have some fun. And because again, they want to make the refuge a home.
Yes.
That they want to make it as much of a home for the families that are calling it there, whether they're there for a month or 2 months or 2 days. They want to make it a positive experience.
They do.
And so painting it, giving them creature comforts, having a bowl full of candy sitting there, all the things you love at your house, they love at their house too, and makes it feel more like home. And to be honest, that also fosters the family environment in there. because they do. They live
It
like a big
promotes
community
healing.
family. They
Yeah.
cook together. They take care of each other's kids, and
They
kind
garden
of
together.
it's like a
Yeah.
little neighborhood in there.
It is.
And
They do projects together.
Yeah, so you're helping foster and create that community in there, and giving these people what they desperately need: human contact in a positive way.
Kindness, yes.
In a positive way. Yeah. So, again, come dance, come have fun. April 27th. It's the 5th or 6th annual That 70s Dance. The money to benefit the Roswell Refuge in the same program here.
Yes.
All proceeds from that. Come on out. It's going to be Mexican food.
Yes, delicious.
Come dressed in your 70s stuff. Door prizes, dance competitions, dance
50-50
lessons,
raffle.
50-50 raffle, a little bit of everything. Just come, bring a friend. You can get tickets at the refuge and go online. Will tickets be available at the door? Or,
Yes,
okay.
they will.
So if
we
you do
don't
space,
sell out.
Yeah, if
They
we don't
will.
sell out, but just save time for everybody. That way they know enough with food to make and everything.
Yeah.
Get your tickets in advance. Come by the refuge or go online and get your tickets, or go to the link on the Facebook page or the website and get your tickets. But if you do space and forget, roll in at 6:30 on Saturday
That's all
in
right,
your 70s duds, and you can
We
pay at
look
the door.
forward to seeing you.
Did we get it all, Lauren?
I think so.
Excellent.
All
Well,
right.
thank you as always.
Thank you, sir.
We'll see you next time.
All right.
And have fun. Don't work too hard. And congratulations.
Thank you.
She's now a I guess you say a taken woman.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Laura.
Thanks.
All right, it is 9:52. Let's pause for news and a quick break before they kick me off the radio. Don't go away.
Now, your Pecos Valley News update. I'm Jared Sorello. The New Mexico Agriculture Department is issuing an advisory following the manufacturer recall of some chicken, swine, cattle, and horse feed products. While the 11 recalled feed products were not found at distributors in New Mexico, some of the products were distributed in nearby states, in Arizona, Colorado, and Texas. The state is issuing the recall advisory to alert New Mexico livestock owners who could have purchased the recalled feed products. Recalled products include Senior Glow horse feed in 50-pound bags, Moorman's Showtech Sail Burst swine feed in 50-pound bags, Moorman's Showtech Burst Starter swine feed, also in 50-pound bags, and Moorman's Showtech BB18BMD swine feed in 50-pound bags. Other news now. The Artesia City Council has appointed Michael Bunt as the new District 4 representative. Bunt will fill the seat recently vacated by Sam Hagelstein. No candidates ran for the seat in the March municipal election. Bunt is a former economic development director at the Artesia Chamber of Commerce. District 3 Councilor Jeff Yautsy was reelected as mayor pro tem. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello reporting.
Waking up on the right side. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
If you look at these images and the people that are out protesting in cities around the country and shutting down the Golden Gate Bridge and other areas and other cities around the country, this is the base that Joe Biden now finds himself in, needing if he has any political ambition to win this election. This is why, Israel, the worst terrorist attack in their history, 1,200 people killed, hundreds of others taken hostage. And what have we been hearing from this administration? Oh, we need a truce. Israel's too aggressive in fighting their war on terror. No lectures have been given to Hamas, the terrorist organization. This was an unprovoked attack, killing innocent men, women, and children.
From coast to coast, from sea to shining sea, it's the Sean Hannity Show.
With everything going on in the world today, the war, the inflation, the geopolitical tensions, $33 trillion in national debt, it's no wonder people are looking to diversify their savings with gold and silver. But who does Sean Hannity choose for his gold and silver? None other than the top-rated precious metals company, Goldco. Goldco is a 7-time Inc. 5000 winner with over 5,000 five-star reviews, and they've helped thousands of Americans place over $2 billion in gold and silver. They're Sean Hannity's top choice. And right now, they're offering up to $10,000 in bonus silver for Sean Hannity listeners. But it's first come, first served, and only while supplies last. So don't wait. Call Goldco at 855-815-GOLD to learn how you could get started today. Tell them Hannity sent you and see if you qualify for up to $10,000 in bonus silver. Call Goldco at 855-815-GOLD. That's 855-815-GOLD.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. The wind will be calming down a little bit today. We have that low pressure system getting out of our area. High pressure is moving in from Arizona and also the Four Corners region. Mid-80s for the afternoon high. Wind will still be a little bit gusty, 15 to 25 miles an hour. Overnight, breezy or low near 50 under clear skies, and then we're in the upper 80s and not too windy on Wednesday, sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. Shares of Tesla have fallen following word of layoffs at the electric vehicle pioneer. Responding to falling sales and rising competition, Tesla will pink slip about a tenth of its workforce. China's economy grew faster than expected in the first quarter of the year. The world's second largest economy expanded at a 5.3% annual pace January through March, surpassing analysts' forecast of about 4.8%. Stung by paying billions for settlements and trials, chemical giant Bayer has been lobbying lawmakers in several states to pass bills providing it a legal shield from lawsuits that claim its popular weed killer Roundup causes cancer. Employees are entitled to time off and other job accommodations for abortions under the so-called Pregnant Workers Fairness Act, according to finalized federal rules published today. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Get ready for a week jam-packed with all sorts of fun for the whole family. The 2024 Roswell Spectacular Carnival, April 25th through May 5th at the Wool Bowl in Roswell. It all kicks off on April 25th with fun for the whole family from 6 to 10. Then on Saturday, April 27th, the day kicks off with a car show beginning with check-in at 8 a.m., plus live entertainment, vendors, and raffles throughout the day. Then Saturday afternoon, don't miss the Build Your Own Pinewood Derby presented by Cub Scout packs throughout Chavez County, with prizes for speed as well as people's choice, overall design, creativity, and originality. Check-in is at 2 and the race begins at 3. Then on Saturday, May 4th, celebrate Cinco de Mayo with piñata breaking at 1, a taco and jalapeno competition at 3, and a salsa and chili contest with entertainment beginning at 2. Proceeds from this event to benefit Moms Loving Hope. The 2024 Roswell Spectacular Carnival, April 25th through May 5th at the Wool Bowl in Roswell.
Foot and ankle problems are often agonizing, but they don't have to be. At Artesia General Hospital, we're passionate about helping every patient return to optimal mobility with confidence and comfort. Our board-certified podiatrists, Dr. Jennifer Chow and Dr. Michael Krupa, provide a full spectrum of services ranging from routine foot care and pain relief to customized treatment plans and leading-edge surgeries. Visit artesiageneral.com/foot care to request your appointment today.
The University of New Mexico. It's the state's flagship, a world-class university right here in Albuquerque. Apply for admission at UNM today at unm.edu. That's unm.edu. The University of New Mexico is the university for opportunity.
Your home for Coast to Coast AM in Roswell, 106.5, Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
And it is closing in on 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock. That's going to do it for us. If you missed any part of the show, log on to ksvptv.com. Click on the Mornings with Mike Winters channel. You'll find all of our interviews there. And we'll be back bright and early, 7 a.m. tomorrow with an all-new show. And, of course, we had the Extension Office join us and, of course, Lauren from the Refuge. And then we replayed our interview with the Skate Collective in the 7 o'clock hour. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. KEND or Roswell, New Mexico. Have a great day, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com.